going back to. Should I name my son my son that?
Elijah. Do you know what else, other name I like as well? Isaiah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think
There's a good one. Do you know what? It is a low key sick one, but mad basic.
Go on.
Adam.
Ah.
I swear.
It depends on who the person is. If it's a white guy, Adam don't slap.
Yeah, dead.
But if they're like, I don't know, if they're Middle Eastern or they're like black. No, not black. They have to be Middle Eastern to me.
Yeah.
But if they're Middle Eastern, it's not actually like pronounced Adam, then, isn't it?
It is Adam.
No, but like I'm saying, like if they're Middle Eastern, it's pronounced like some completely else. Like the person that I know, well, how do I say his name?
Yeah, white guy Adam is just like, well, duh.
Yeah, it's like. No.
Bro, my cousin,
Yeah.
Saj, yeah? So he's half Sudanese, half Filipino.
Yeah.
His brother, who's the same, is married to an Iranian lady. Okay.
Oh, she must be fire. Yeah, she must be peak. Respectfully.
Yeah, of course. And their kid is called Adam, right?
Oh, wow.
If you look at him, yeah, he looks like a little Mexican boy. Okay, because obviously, like,
I don't know how you got there.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's got too,
you know what I'm saying?
He's got too much on the plate, man.
Bro,
Yeah.
like I told him he's like 8 years old now. Yeah, I tell him all the time, say no. Like claim it early. Because technically you're black, fam. Just get me
Somewhere.
Yeah. So say it like just say
Just
it
be
now.
careful when you say it, though.
Yeah, it's like logic. Yeah, relax, isn't it? Yeah.
It's like logic.
boy.
You know?
Logic.
No, but
Do you know what's about
can
logic?
see-
I told you.
black
Logic is fucking funny, but
Do you know what's crazy? I literally saw. I
That
think
is
he
good.
was talking to that. I think that Bobby girl. What's her name?
Bobby Althoff.
Yeah, and like I don't know. He was talking about like committing. It's a
that's
topic.
dark. Okay, thanks.
Yeah,
It's good
yeah.
start to a Sunday.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, what do you call it? And because he obviously made the like the song about it.
Oh,
innit?
the song, yeah.
And then like he's talking about how the internet,
yeah.
the internet would just clown him for like doing it because he's the guy that made the song. But he said it and then said the N-word, and I was like, hold on, I fully forgot that he's black.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Because I
Yeah,
sat
I know,
forward
I know,
because
I know.
like I know that people do it out of rage baiting it, and like that I'm just like, ugh, and I move on from it. But because he don't rage in it, like he don't rage bait. So when he said that, I went, wait, what?
I think if you look white
You're treading,
and you are black,
treading thin waters, man.
I think you should just firm it and just not say it.
Yeah.
Treading
Do you get me?
crazy waters.
Like if you say it at home with the family,
Even then, okay, yeah, maybe.
do you know what? Nah, I confirm that. Even like a family barbecue with friends around, cool. Yeah, but just publicly, and if you're out with your boys, whatever,
You should know better.
hold it down, my boy. Like
Different rules.
Yeah, just different rules, man. You know, and he's got like white boy hair as well.
He's white.
What colour is his eyes?
But I'll say his eyes again. I don't know about that.
Like green?
I don't know what color are his eyes.
Oh no.
You are the producer.
Yeah, but the guys were saying it like he knew the answer. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I can't believe I'm typing this in.
Let's see what colours Logic's eyes are. Let me put this on mute. That's terrible for me. In the meantime, we might as well get cracking with the episode.
Let's do it.
Because I assume Kiz has already got the audio rolling because he has, hasn't he?
Of course I do.
Yeah, of course you do.
Oh, but he's got blue eyes.
Yeah, then come on, man.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
By the way, just in terms of names, I know it's going to sound like I'm being... You know when you just have your heroes? So Stefan, hero, innit? That's my guy, Steph Curry.
Oh, he's got. Oh, hold on, wait. Yeah, does he?
Oh.
Yeah, that's tech.
Hero. And then Denzel.
See, Denzel, his name is so iconic now that you can't use it now.
It's not Denzel though. See, that's why I think it's so wavy. Denzel is not like Denzel.
But
Yeah, Denzel sounds crazy.
Yeah, Denzel. It's like
Denzel.
But I do know you're putting a lot of pressure on your child if you call him Denzel. Like, expectation.
Facts.
You,
But like,
you better be good at what you do.
Stefan pisses me off again because
Oh, yeah.
it's like, is it Steven? Is it Stefan?
That's Stefan.
But it's spelled the same, no?
Mm,
You can spell
Yes.
Steven with
Yeah.
a PH.
Yeah, it's the same spelling.
no, but it's the E and the A, no?
Maybe.
There's no A in Stefan's name.
yeah,
This-
it's EE.
Yeah, it's E.
Oh, damn. Fairs. I thought it was...
Yeah, Stefan. That's my guy.
No,
man.
but Stephen Curry looks black though.
No,
No.
well, he is black. That's not the point. I just like the name, innit?
We just want the name.
No, I
he's black. What about-
thought you were comparing
he
the
looked
logic.
it,
Both of his parents.
No.
I think his dad's black and then his mum's half, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But his kids look.
Was it the eyes?
Yeah. I was looking at it like, hold on,
got the-
it's logic again.
He's got the green eyes, man.
Yeah.
Green
It's-
eyes.
He's a super light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super duper. Yeah.
He's a super light, and then like his
He's
wife
6 foot as well.
is a super light as well. Yeah.
Aisha, yeah. She glowed up though. Shout out to her.
She did good.
She was always nice. Nah, I thought she was always nice. And then, you know what made her not nice? That one interview where she was like, I wish people tell me that I'm nice. I was like, hold on. You're married to
Oh, because she went
Steph.
through a period where she got a lot of hate, man.
She did.
Yeah, because of that. Because she was like, I wish people would hit. It was like she wished people would hit on her.
Oh, that's a bit weird.
That's what I'm trying to say. So I was like, yeah, hold on.
Stefan's not enough for you.
I lied.
The greatest shooter of all time.
And this is when he was like fully like shelling. I was like, yeah, hold on.
MVP,
Yeah, MVP, and she's talking like this.
I mean, that's the greatest shooter of all time. You should be happy, man.
I lie.
I'll take 10 minutes with him.
Hold on.
Not like that. Just
Hold on.
Hold on just a minute.
Welcome to
being
the
like
pod,
in
you
his
like?
I thought I was finished.
Yeah.
just in his presence. That's the greatest shooter. I need to actually.
His aura, yeah. Yeah.
It's alright.
I need to watch him once live.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, before he retires, which is probably like within the next 2 or 3 years. So
He's
I
37.
need to get to San Fran. But I heard it's expensive out there. My boy's there now. He said prices are crazy out there.
Just America in general, to be fair.
Yeah. Anyway, we are the post-credit scene podcast, a 14 HQ original, lovers of film, TV and theatre. Back in the stew today. Back in the stew. It's a big couple of weeks coming up for cinema, man.
It is.
Oh, kids, did I interrupt you when you just wanted to... Sorry, my bad. Big couple of weeks coming up for film and television, more so for film. And it's a really exciting period as well. So we're going to dive into that today. And we've got the right guest for this. Probably like one of the people that I would say is into and has the widest knowledge of superhero stuff and Marvel that I've come across. One of the, at least. But before we introduce the guest, we've got Huss in the building. How are you?
Ooh, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah?
We're shooting this on Dead Music weekend. So that's out there.
Everyone's in France living it up, man.
Having a horrible time.
But the locals don't really want them there.
I know. But who cares though, man? I was saying to kids earlier, I was like, bro, they come to Carnival and like, it's fun.
As long as everyone's behaving themselves, what's the problem?
Yeah, which it seems like we are. And also, it seems like our companies here are like putting on like half the damn events. Do you get me? So it's like, bro, like, allow it. Like,
I heard it's been running for like years. I had no clue. It's like a 40-year-old thing.
yeah. It's a massive thing. But yeah, shout out to Biss, our very own. She's out there. She's DJing. She's doing her thing. She's in booty shorts.
Just shaking ass, basically.
She's shaking ass, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Biss.
Kids, you good?
Yeah, it's my birthday today.
What?
Huh?
It's my birthday
what?
today. Why was I so shocked like that? Just a day. Yeah, so I'm good. Yeah. I had like a nice little comfortable birthday.
Happy birthday, bro.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Wait, what? I thought your birthday was the barbecue that you also invited me to.
No, I said that I'm going to do plenty of barbecues. The reason why I didn't want to invite everyone on my birthday was because there's so many people to invite.
You're gonna have to leave some people out.
Yeah, and then it would have felt, even though I don't feel this way, it would have been like, so I didn't get invited on your birthday. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm
So
not doing
what
one
are
of
you
my...
doing today?
So nothing. But I've split my birthday barbecue into like 3 sections, like over the next 2 months.
3 birthday barbecues. Fair.
Yeah, because I'm like, basically, guys, I live in like a small flat. So like, I can't have 30 man just rock up and shoot. My neighbor's like, hold on, what's this?
Yeah, for real.
But I'm like, all right, cool, I'll do
It's
8.
considerate of you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Look at that. Happy birthday.
thank you very much.
Happy
God
birthday,
bless.
bro. What the
I'm an uncle now.
Oh, you're in your first.
I'm 31.
Oh, you just
31?
say just me, pal. It's
But,
all right,
but
man.
we're unks.
Oh, you're an old man, bro.
I'm an old man.
Oh, you're
Got
fucking
some
getting-
grades coming on through as well.
Oh, no, mate. Yeah.
Are you not 31 as well?
Nah, fair.
He's 31 like next month or something.
Yeah, you're literally, it's like literally a month. What the? Yeah, talking like he's like that makes a difference.
Yeah, no, we remember. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Good to have you here, kids, and happy birthday.
Thank you guys.
Hope you have a good 3 barbecues.
Will do.
Yeah,
There'll be a
man.
lot of.
And then we've got our special guest, Eli. Round of applause for you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
The first time I encountered your work, you did some really cool like Marvel breakdown of like scenes and characters and relationships. I think it was like you did one on Cap, maybe one on Iron Man in Civil War.
Yeah, Iron Man's my favorite one that I've done.
Yeah, it was the Iron Man one, and I was like, you're a sick guy. Like
Oh, thank you, bro.
the articulation of your words alongside the deep knowledge. I was like, nah, looking in, followed you, really impressed with your work, and obviously you got so much going on. But how are you, firstly?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Excited. Yeah.
Busy?
Busy.
What are you busy with? Talk to us.
Obviously I part of a group called the Geeks of the Week. So we've been working on a new game show, which is basically just trivia and fun. The whole point of that is to just collaborate with as many people as possible so that we can just, I guess, foster a community going, you know, because why not, right?
Yeah, of course.
So planning that, making sure like it's entertaining, and the guests actually have fun. So tailoring it to their niches. So far, we've trialed it out. We haven't really lost any of the games yet, so we're hoping to keep that streak going when it actually starts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that. Obviously, like keeping up with the films and the reviews and all that. And I'm also working in a short film that I've been writing over the last kind of year. It's in the editing process now. Just
so it's been worked on.
Yeah, it's been shot and
Nice.
yeah. So we're just in the editing process.
That's incredible.
Hopefully, should be out in the kind of middle of the year.
Nice.
And middle of the year-ish.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And how you feeling about diving into sort of bringing your own project from scratch to life? You know, like what's that like for you?
I think it's exciting. It's been like the biggest kind of like learning journey I've been on. Obviously, like going to school and stuff is interesting and you learn a lot, but being shot into like the deep end of something you haven't done before. I haven't been to film school. I just love cinema. I love telling stories, and I didn't know even how to work a camera before I started this project.
Yeah.
But as the year went on, I was reading a lot of books and like a lot of audiobooks, physical books, and how to write a film, how to tell stories, how to direct, how to I don't know, the camera angles, how to work it, how to work with actors, how to work with DOPs, different. I literally knew nothing about how intricate the industry is, and just learning that in the last year has been kind of like the best things possible. I've enjoyed collaborating with so many people. Shout out to Clem and Steven. They were like the two people in the crew that, you know what you guys did, so thank you. They made it easy, and the actors as well. Honestly, like I thought being a first-time director, people wouldn't want to work with me, but the actors, everyone on the set, to be honest, was so great, and they made it seem easy. I felt like I wasn't actually doing anything. You know, that's how good the people on set were, and I'm just thankful for that.
I think Huss can speak to this, and you know, I think it goes with a lot of things in life, but you can't really do much alone. Like whether you're like a director, or you need a team of people around you to support you, whatever you do. Whether you do stuff alone, or it still takes a community to make something come to life. I think you can speak to that as a sort of creative director, right?
Yeah, no, you're like absolutely right, and like, like obviously, you know, us here at like 14 issue, everything was started from our bedrooms. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, like we had people that had skills in different areas and that kind of stuff, and then we realized is that we couldn't rely on each other to have those individual skills, and we have to kind of like blend everything that we do together, you know. And one of my like closest friends, Bobby, he and me done the same course at uni, broadcasting, you know what I mean? But he went more into the technical side of things, like the editing and that kind of stuff, whereas I went into more like the storytelling. So, you know,
it's a great marrying of skills, though. That
yeah. Like it really worked out. Like luckily, over time, he got better at storytelling, and I got better at like the thing technical. You know, and I think that's what made us kind of like a couple of years ago, like 4 or 5, and we realized that we had something that we can actually go out and do like a lot. Like we didn't go to film school, but we learned everything around it. Do you know what I mean? And we accelerated our whole process by just going into it. Like we faked it until we made it. Like, it was a mad thing. Like I promise you, there was like some shoots with some big brands, and they're saying, yeah, have you guys done this before? Yeah, trust me, yeah. No idea. And there's even times, okay, where like me and Bob would like go to shoots, and for free, right? Not to shoot really, but just to watch what other people are doing, their mannerisms, their language. A lot of things you'll find on set has nothing to do with skill, but just your language. Yeah, a lot of it is just language. It's just knowing when to speak, or kind of knowing when to cut, to start, to move on. These are all very, very key things. And having a good team around you is what came of that eventually, like I couldn't recommend it high enough. If anyone is starting like something new, the two things that I would say is practically do it. Like practically, even if you fail, practically do it 100%. And then second of all, do it with help. You know, like I don't know why people are always trying to do this whole like solo thing.
Doesn't work out.
Doesn't work out as easily, you know. But yeah.
And the feeling when you've done it with people as well, when you've accomplished something with.
Great.
You know, you can share those moments and those memories. Like
Literally, yeah.
For sure.
Amazing stuff, man.
Thank you.
I've had to like add in something for you guys because when I realised that you're both fans of the same thing, so I'm going to squeeze it into our conversation. But I did want to start with some news on Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Oh yeah.
And the reason so is because there's been so much talk around Spider-Man and people wanting it to be a sort of grounded superhero film, and the politics of the world where we know Marvel and Sony are currently sharing the rights of Spider-Man, which has led to...
Whose side you on?
On what?
Are you on Sony side or Marvel side?
I'm on Marvel side.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You're Marvel as well, innit?
Yeah, Marvel side.
But they have given us some really good films, right?
Yeah.
Together. Okay, let's do a quick order. What's your order of the 3 Spidey films for Holland?
Oh, right. Okay, just Holland.
Just Holland. That's cool. All right,
Almost set me up.
that's a bigger task. All right.
I say...
Kiss, you're having a nightmare, by the way. What the fuck is going on?
Dropping M&M's. Hey, guys,
They're the good M&Ms, though.
it's his fucking birthday. Is it? Yeah.
They're the good M&Ms.
Yeah, they are. I'm gonna go first. Yeah, I'm gonna do.
Yeah, go for it.
No Way Home,
Naturally.
Homecoming,
Yeah.
Far From Home.
The more I think about Far From Home, it's kind of underwhelming.
The only
Jake
thing
Gyllenhaal's
that's
great.
good about it is
Jake's
yeah,
incredible.
Jake is good, but Mysterio isn't that great. But Jake is good.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I actually am kind of different. I'm Homecoming,
Nice.
No Way Home, then Far From Home.
I think that's fine.
Interesting. What did you like about Homecoming?
I liked that it set up who Peter Parker is. I think it in terms of the films that did set up his character, it did it the best. Like him struggling with school and being Spider-Man. I think it was a little bit annoying that he wanted to be so close with Iron Man, but
Everyone feels... I think like a lot of people feel that way.
no, not even because of like the Iron Man Jr. thing, just because like he wasn't trying to do his own thing. He could have done so much more as Spider-Man, and the fact that he focused so much on trying to be an Avenger or trying to be like Iron Man, it hindered his progress as a street level hero.
Yes,
Do you know what I mean?
Don't forget they were setting up for Infinity War, so it
Yeah.
made it, because obviously at the end of it, right, he turned down
Their
the
whole
suit,
relationship,
blah,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
and then at the start of in Infinity War, he's still trying to prove himself, even though he's decided to be this, you know, neighborhood Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
even with like the suit and everything, do you know what I mean? Like they 100% only wrote, well, I think in a way, wrote that story or like that storyline, okay, to fit the narrative of what Infinity War was, which worked because we were all emotionally attached to them two, right? In the second one, when it was still attached to Iron Man, I was
Because
like,
it was mourning afterwards.
yeah, did you get me? It's
But
like
then you
that.
can't not have him mourning.
You cannot have
But
it.
because you have,
Yeah.
because you've already laid the foundations.
Exactly.
Catch 22.
Do you also think it was a bit of a cheat code though, because Civil War was such a fantastic intro for him, okay, and for Aunt May and for
We
the
could have
whole-
skipped his.
Yeah, like, do you think it was a bit of a cheat code because he had almost 2 MCU origins?
Or
Not
introduction.
really. I think his
Yeah.
Yeah.
origin has been the trilogy. I couldn't say that
Nice.
it was just one film.
Yeah.
Because like it ends up with him being the best Spider-Man at the end, and like if you compare that to like Tobey's trilogy, because he's the only one that had a trilogy. By the end of the first film, he's, as much as he got the suit, he's not fully Spider-Man
Yeah.
until
He's still a child, bro.
he's still
A man child.
Oh
growing.
yeah, he's my child.
So yeah, I mean, that's a whole different thing. But he only like it only hits him after he goes through the struggle of like losing his powers for a bit, and then the risks of MJ. It all kind of culminates into a trilogy, and I don't think his origin story works as just Homecoming. It has for
Yeah,
Tom.
no, I agree.
It has to be a whole. It ends with his origin story ends with like all the 5 movies he's more than 5, whatever, all the films he's in. It ends with No Way Home.
When he's swinging in New York City and it's snowing, it's like, oh, this feels like the start of something.
Yeah.
Right?
It did feel new.
Yeah.
You there? Come on.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Nah. It did feel like it, and obviously like, you know, the color grading as well and everything was so much
Oh, the
brighter.
suit looks
You know
great.
what I mean, like, yeah, like it did feel like there was like a brand new path that was like about to come about. So like I do hear your point still. I think Tom though, It's the first time that we're getting like Spider-Man going through school though over 3 films, right? I think Toby was one film, or even half a film, because I'm pretty sure he was in college by Act 2, fam.
Okay.
You get me? And then obviously Garfield, it was one film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And then yeah. So like we've seen him be a teenager. And I generally think I think that was like top 3 things that was so key to us kind of growing with him. But again, he did have the cheat code of the MCU that was being built around him. You know?
It works in 2 ways though. So you say it's a cheat code, but it could also be detract from people's, I don't know, respect for him being Spidey, because he hasn't necessarily had the chance to evolve yet because of those same sort of strangleholds. So it'd be interesting now with Brand New Day. And what we're hearing about the film, obviously Destin Daniel Cretton is going to be directing, who did Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
That's really exciting because of some of those scenes in Shang-Chi for me. Action sequences.
The fight scenes?
Crazy.
Fight scenes are incredible in that film.
Incredible.
So that's quite exciting. How do you guys feel about Destin Daniel Cretton, who was meant to do one of the first Avengers films, one of the recent Avengers films now, and then he got taken off it. I'm pretty sure.
Wasn't he Quantumania? He was supposed to be Quantumania, and then...
Oh, okay. Was it? Okay, cool.
I think so.
Okay. But I think safe hands, no?
Yeah, I
Safe-ish hands.
Okay.
for a grounded story, I think it's safe. I mean, to be fair, Shang-Chi has that set piece at the end that I'm not really a fan of, but
Yeah,
for a grounded
I
story,
wasn't a fan of that.
yeah.
Yeah, but you had to throw it in though because.
No, he didn't.
Bro, it's the 10 Rings and Dragons. Like, there's no easy way to do that.
It's either you do it where he's fighting. What's the guy's name again?
What? His dad?
No, is it? They call it the dweller behind the dweller in darkness or whatever.
Is it Mandalorian you're talking about?
No.
No. I think it's Fing Fang Foom that Shang-Chi fights in the comics. It's either you do that version or you do the family drama. You can't do both, because then now the dad element felt very underwhelming. That he just like he gets off just like that. You know, like
And they built the dad stuff quite well.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then just like randomly throw it away for a massive CGI fight. That's the reason that movie doesn't work well for me. If they just focused on the family elements a lot more, and then do a part 2 where he's now achieving the 10 rings.
like
And
then
that would be the second film.
yeah,
that
make a lot
makes
more sense.
Yeah, that's fair. Interesting cast. We don't know too much yet. I'm hearing a lot of Mr. What's his name? Not Mr.
Negative.
Mr. Negative talk, which would be really cool because I thought he was great in the last game. Really enjoyed his character. But there's a lot of talk. So we got Sadie Sink, who's been cast in the film. Liza Colin-Zayas, who's in The Bear. Jon Bernthal's joining as well as the Punisher.
See, that's not confirmed yet, though.
Bernthal's confirmed.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm seeing it every literally here. That
But-
I'm seeing it everywhere, okay, but I ain't seen like Marvel or Sony post it.
Hollywood Report have confirmed.
Yeah.
literally
And
Hollywood.
everyone, all the trusted publications have said Jon Bernthal's in there. Why do you seem so apprehensive?
First of all, love him.
Not apprehensive as in you seem like a bit.
Yeah.
You don't know whether to believe
How
it.
the hell, like,
Is it gonna
That's
work?
how
amazing.
the hell is that gonna work?
How's it gonna? So, have you not
Brother
seen
is on murdering
Have you
people.
not seen the tweets
Talk
of
about
Oh, the tweets.
The tweets are insane.
Oh,
They're
so
insane.
good.
of like him
Yeah,
just
what
losing his mind, like every time that Peter's like, maybe this guy deserves a second chance, and he just sitting there until like he wants to kill him, or like he shoots him in the head when Peter said to him.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like, how is that gonna
Clash
work?
of tones. You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's such extreme tones. Do you know what I mean? Like Peter's whole thing in the comic books is that he never uses his full power. Like he doesn't actually throw like a real punch. I don't know if
To cause harm. Yeah, no.
yeah, like even when he's like fighting whatever, like he never. And there's signs in the MCU, okay, that thing that Kevin Feige was like, we show his strength sometimes, okay, just to prove, like, obviously the Wind Soldier, punch, if it's a sitch. There's a part in Infinity War where the big guy's like throwing the hammer, but he kind of like he just fucking holds it like it's nothing.
The boat,
Right.
the boat as well when he's trying to hold it together.
Yeah.
And even the bus when he's trying to stop that car, like to catch that thing at that speed.
Yeah,
and so easy.
So
by the way.
easily.
It's the
as
bus
well,
scene
yeah.
in No Way Home.
It's in Civil War.
So-
It's like a clip that Tony shows him.
I
It's
thought
like-
it was
yeah, literally. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like but yeah, so like his whole thing is that he holds back. He never throws.
But isn't
like,
that
actual
an
punch.
interesting clash of ideologies? I know we've
Well,
seen
no,
it
but
already. I know we've seen
did
it.
that.
I know we've seen it.
did
But it's
that.
with different characters. It's a different dynamic completely.
He had it with fucking what's his name?
Daredevil.
I think
No. I'm saying I'm saying even Spidey had it now in thingy, bro. No Way Home with
Doctor Strange.
Goblin.
No, with
Oh,
Green
Goblin.
Goblin. Yeah.
With Goblin, he had the same ethical battle there. Like, yo, do I F him up right now for killing him on him?
Yeah, but he's not going to kill the
Do you know
Punisher.
what I'm
I
saying?
think the clash of ideology is more on how they view superheroes and being a vigilante. There's a lot of talk around Mark Ruffalo, but that's not confirmed.
Yeah.
That's more speculation that
Yeah,
Mark
I'm seeing
Ruffalo's
that
going to
as
be in
well.
this as Hulk as well.
Is his son still alive?
What, She-Hulk?
No, his son.
Scar.
His son.
Said She-Hulk.
In She-Hulk,
She-Hulk.
right at the end, in the final scene,
Yeah,
they
that's what I
show
said.
him walk out with his son.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, I was a bit.
Yeah, so then he needs to, like, I'm hoping that he's not about, fam. You hear me?
Yeah.
Who's the mum, bruv?
Yes, I don't know.
They haven't addressed that.
There's a lot of holes within the
There
MCU.
is way too many.
There's so many
unexplained.
holes. Man.
Eli, what are your thoughts on them before I maybe throw it to Huss? Are you excited for a brand new day? Apparently, they haven't even got a script like finalized yet, which is mad.
And Tom seems very involved.
Yeah, I mean, so you know what it is. I think when you posted about the lady from The Bear being casted, I was thinking my
Liza
thoughts, my theory.
Collins Eyes. What's your theory?
I feel like they've been setting up Miles Morales for a minute,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not trying to start something here, but
Start it.
in Homecoming, Aaron Davis is in it, right? Setting up. He's talking about Miles. They talk about Miles quite a lot. And
Yeah.
They don't ever show him to us, right? And this is a theory, a thread that Marvel's been doing for a minute, where like they'll withhold people from using certain names directly because they're setting up something in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So like obviously we're going to talk about it in a minute, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, they weren't allowed to talk about Hydra because in Winter Soldier they were then going to introduce Hydra as a concept, right? So they've been throwing around this Morales thing for a minute. In Daredevil Born Again, they talk about an Officer Morales who's in New York, I'm assuming Brooklyn, you know?
Yeah, they've been
And
dropping
then
little hints.
her being cast,
You think that's his mum?
it
Right?
could be. It could be. But as a whole, I don't know. There's a lot of people being thrown in the mix. Sadie Sink as well. I'll have to see when they drop an official trailer before I can actually
I don't think Sony will allow it just yet.
formulate. What do you mean?
They
Miles Morales.
haven't started shooting yet, so I think
Yeah.
they start shooting next month.
Yeah, no. I'm saying I don't think Sony will give them Miles as well as Peter, just because of how well Into Spider-Verse is doing. However, obviously, as we saw from Across the Spider-Verse and etc., they're teasing that it might be part of the MCU canon. So that might come into play at some point, or if that was the original plan with the Kang
So I'm
storyline. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's changed now, but they have been teasing that for a long time. And I think you're right. I also think that Marvel do it with a lot of characters that they don't have the rights to.
The rights,
They
yeah.
do it to the Fox characters back in the day. Okay, like a lot, and I think they do that to convince that studio. Look, man, there's buzz. People are like
yeah.
taking this one word and there's 10,000 tweets. Do you know what I mean? Or blah blah blah. So
Here's the metrics.
yeah,
Boom.
I think they do it tactically. So like, I hope you're right. To be fair,
Yeah,
You know?
honestly.
I hope you're right.
I mean, for as a casting, I think she'd be incredible. I think that like a spot on casting. He's of dual heritage as well, right? So
yeah,
Afro-Latino. So that would make
Afro-Latino, yeah.
perfect sense.
I did read something as well. Okay, where
And she's Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of makes sense.
No. It does make sense. I've read like a fan script, okay, I think based off a few comics, but it was like Spidey, he dies in the multiverse saving MJ, and then that's where we get the blend between Across the Spider-Verse and the MCU, because he crashes through and
Okay.
he's the new Spider-Man for the for the new Avengers.
Something tells me this is Tom's last one.
I don't think so. He signed a deal, bro.
I
Signed.
don't think he has. I think for this film, yeah. I don't know. Something tells me he wants to stop at some point, and wants to stop soon.
Well, I'm
This is just
I'm
black
assuming that we've all seen that long ass interview that he done like 3
Where he stopped. Really stopped. I think the same one he was talking about, like stop drinking and all that sort of stuff, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
He was wearing black, right?
You lost.
Did he not
it.
say he was trying to retire like at some point?
Yes,
Yeah.
but he also said that he wants to do Spider-Man for the next like 10 years. He was like, I'm locked in.
But didn't he also say he doesn't want to be like 30 and still playing Spider?
No.
29.
Huh?
29 right now.
Yeah. No. He said that once him and Zendaya have kids, he's gonna try and retire. That's what he said, right? And then in the same interview, okay, he said that when he was coming up to his new deal with Marvel, he was like, it was relying on Sony and there's obviously relationship, but he said that when they figured it out, they came to him, he didn't say how much pictures that he had to do, okay, but Marvel don't do less than 4 picture deals, bro. Do you know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah, but
like,
who would you say is in the position of power within that?
Him. But he made that clear. He said for the first time, I felt like I could make a choice at this point.
Because he was a young man, but in awe of doing something he'd always wanted to do when he first signed, right?
But after like Marvel and Sony sorted their shit out, they had to now go to him and be like, "Oh,
we've sorted our shit out."
Yeah. And he said that he took almost like a year to really be like, all right, cool, this is what I want to do. And in the same interview, he explains how one of the things that was super important to him was like being now part of the backroom staff, right? So he's now helping cast, write it, produce it.
Yeah, he's got a big role.
And he said that they were at that time they were on their 4th script. You know, so he's super involved. Whereas
because he wants to get it right.
Yeah, but we know him for the past 7 or 8 years now, where he'll notoriously be given like half a script. Do you know what I'm saying? Or like 4 pages. Do you know what I mean? But like he's now involved in that process. He's like super matured in that, and he knows the way that the MCU is going. He can be 35 and play like an old Spider-Man or whatever it is, or he can pass over, that mantle. I think across the Spider-Verse and that sets it up perfectly with the thousands of Spider-Man that are like available. There's different versions that he can play now. Also, luckily he looks young. You know what I'm saying?
The MCU needs him.
The MCU needs him, and in the Spider-Man storyline, he's technically a fucking youth, bruv. Like, he just finished school. Do you know what I'm saying? We haven't even seen him in the pizza shop yet. Like we're about to see him in his shitty apartment. We're about to see all of that.
Fingers crossed for sure.
Hopefully.
Cool. Interestingly, him and Jon Bernthal worked together on The Pilgrimage, and I think they helped each other for preparing for their respective roles as Punisher and
Spider-Man. I saw that,
which is super, super cool. So that should be interesting.
And they're working together in Odyssey, right?
Yes. Odyssey's next year, and they had to delay filming for Spider-Man because I think they were filming Odyssey and it's finished maybe last month. So apparently they're starting filming on July, so that'll be next month.
They're saying that it's going to release the same day. They were saying July. What do you call it? 31st of July 26.
Isn't Odyssey going up against Secret Wars?
They were. I read yesterday that it was going to be Spider-Man might be the same day.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Which film moved to December and it's the same day as like bare films?
Secret Wars moved.
Doomsday moved.
Doomsday, sorry. Yeah, my bad.
And it's on the same week as like.
Oh, same week as Dune.
Like,
that's the one. My bad, I got it wrong.
5 like crazy films, right?
But the 2 big ones are Dune.
It's like Shrek 6 as well, and
Dune it is like, because it's the 17th of July 2026.
Doomsday and Dune.
Odyssey, yeah.
Well, if they've moved back Doomsday,
they're gonna have to move back Spider-Man.
Yeah, surely Spider-Man has to move back.
But they haven't finished the script, so they could work it in a way.
Fit it anyway, really, truly.
But it could come before, which is, I guess, an upside and a downside, because I think James Gunn, in a very snide way or sly way, and we'll get to that later on maybe, but he said that he never commissions a film until the script is done, and I think he did that based on his experiences at Marvel. So it'll be interesting to see, and it's interesting that Tom Holland has made a point of saying, I want scripts to be done before we do anything. So yeah, we'll see. Because Marvel are quite notorious for like filming without having scripts. So from the very first film, from Iron Man 1,
they do that quite a lot. Yeah.
Which to me is mad.
They'll have like overall like theories and concepts. It was
Favreau.
Yeah, Favreau. He loves doing that. He
Yeah.
loves doing that. It's the same thing with his Star Wars films. Do you know what I mean? Like he'll build like an overall like arcing storyline and then be like, all right, cool, let's build it as we go along. Do you know what I'm saying? And then he'll sell it like if you're like a young actor, especially in the early MCU where like a lot of actors weren't like mad famous, right? And you're given like just a theory of what your character can be, you'd be gassed. Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, I'll sign up now. Like what? Like a 5 picture deal? What? Run it. You know what I mean? Like there's actors that are signing for less for just studios in general. Like if Will Smith signed for Universal for like 6-7 years, and
Only you would know that.
come on,
Because I didn't. I thought it was more tied to Sony, but fair enough.
he signed to them and then he done the thing. I don't know if you guys remember this. I forgot what the film was called, but there were so many actors that were signed to Universal, and then they wanted to get out of their deal. So then they made this like shit film where all of them just featured in it.
Really?
Everybody, like, we're talking like Tom Cruise, like Sandra Bullock, like everybody
wild.
featured
No way.
just to get out of their deal.
That's crazy.
It was a mad thing, bro. Honestly, and it's the same reason why. Have you guys seen The Mummy?
The Tom Cruise
well,
one.
No, nah.
Oh,
The one from back in the day.
yeah.
You see the first one where it's that shit like CGI of the Scorpion King.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Listen, the same reason. He was trying to get out of his deal, so then they just whacked him in any film.
It's like when Drake releases. I think he tried to release an album 'cause
He released More Life.
to try and get out of his.
The whole point of More Life was, oh, don't worry, it's a playlist, and then it dropped and it was a full album.
Yeah.
That was just to get out.
Let's move on to a topic that you guys are going to really enjoy. I'm going to have to take a more of a back seat and just ask probing questions where I can. Eli, talk to us about your interest in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It is somewhat tied to Marvel.
Woo! Somewhat.
It's as in the MCU. Sorry, it's
Yeah.
somewhat tied to the MCU.
Okay.
MCU adjacent. It's just like the Netflix shows. They were MCU adjacent.
This is the origin of the MCU.
But they would reference things that are in the MCU. Talk to me about your adoration for, I guess, the franchise itself and why it might deserve a bit more respect than it gets.
I think it definitely deserves way more respect than it gets. As a concept, imagine like your whole show is based off this organization called S.H.I.E.L.D. and then
No, go.
oh, okay. And then in the next big Marvel film, the whole thing's shut down. Like they cancel your organization, and you're wondering what's next for you. Like literally, your first premiere season, they cancel the organization that you're working with in the films, right? So
you're technically no longer an agent.
yeah, it makes no sense, right? But somehow they made the show work. They gave the show a lot more depth. The characters actually work. They gel well together as a team, and also kind of the hijinks and the missions they go on are very, very MCU, especially phase 2 and 3 adjacent. So we start off with obviously the fall of an Avenger. Coulson dies in Avengers 1, and everyone thinks, okay, cool, that's the end of it. But he was such a fan favorite character that they had to find a way to bring him back. And in the way they brought him back, a lot of mystery was built up because no one knows what actually led to him coming back.
Right.
That was the first mystery. The second mystery is the second lead character, who's called Sky at the beginning. Comic readers will know a character called Quake, who's Daisy Johnson. And the way they introduce her into it is also like mad because they don't know who her family is.
Yeah.
They don't know what she can do. All they know is she's a hacker, right? Who was abandoned as a child and orphaned, but it was S.H.I.E.L.D. that was kind of protecting her from that whole thing. Mm-hmm. Then you have this thing called Centipede, which is basically a Hydra cell. And the reason they called it Centipede was because Hydra wasn't allowed to be, like, they weren't allowed to use Hydra in their show until Winter Soldier came out.
What a film. Oh.
Right? Great film. And even with that, like, there was a lot of setup in the show for that movie. So, like, you know, in Age of Ultron with the helicarriers.
Oh, I love Age of Ultron.
Right?
Yeah.
Great movie. The helicarrier scene, they set it up. Even the beginning of that film where they find the scepter, it's the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that did the work
to get it
to
there.
send them to Maria Hill,
Yeah.
who also appears in the show. So like, a lot of like favorite characters like Nick Fury, Maria Hill, Stan Lee, even cameos. It's not just about the cameos; it's about what they do in the show.
But do you know in Winter Soldier, when the Rise of Hydra thing happens, it happens in.
Is that when they go into the bunker or after that?
Sorry.
When they go into the bunker or after they get into it, you know, when Cap and
Yeah. So
Natasha.
it's kind of
It's like simultaneous.
it's kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super weird.
So as they're in the bunker, something's happening with the agents, right?
Yeah.
And then
Exactly.
when Hydra actually takes over,
Takes over. Yeah.
right? And they're like, okay, now we're launching the helicarriers. In the show, there's like this
There's like a
signal.
ground level
Yeah,
war.
there's a signal that goes out, and everyone's trying to decrypt what the signal is. And obviously, the Hydra agents know what's going on, and it shows you the aftermath of that, like how people, like, imagine all of us are friends, but one of us is a Hydra agent,
Exactly.
and then we just double cross each other because
Yeah.
like,
So, like,
the trust is broken.
Oh, right,
There's
right.
like a scene where like I guess the good guys are going through this fucking Shield building, right? And the whole way through
Yeah.
is that they're just trying to figure out who's their friend and who's not, and that's real life shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously not real life shit, but
I said,
but like meanwhile, Cap is beefing Bucky. Do you know what I mean? Like that's all happening out there, but like in here, we're still trying to.
there's another bit of drama going.
There's a whole bit of drama going on. Do you know what I mean? And what was amazing is, talking about you, okay, like I think one of my favorite bits is how global they made everything. Do you know what I mean? Okay, that like they showed how wide Shield's operations actually were, you know, and we only got that with Nick Fury. You know,
Yeah.
every time he was on screen in the films, you almost got the feeling of like this global like operation. You know what I mean? Like obviously in Iron Man 1, where like, you know, he comes through so easily, and then he's got the map up with, you know, with everything going on, and obviously in if you win Soldier, it starts off with that ship in whatever country it was.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Cap has the
Yeah.
flag.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That.
okay. Like, you know, there's like, you only really get it when like a Nick Fury narrative is kind of involved, whereas like this show was like, we're gonna show you how deep Shield got from the 40s
Yeah.
till now.
Can I just throw something in? I know it's adjacent to what you're talking about with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, yeah, but the Cap rebranding is one of the best rebrandings I've seen in cinema, like the last 10, 15 years.
Well, you could argue say it wasn't a rebrand. You could argue say that it was just part of a storyline.
You could, but rebrand, man.
Yeah.
Like the glow up, stronger, quicker, faster. Naturally, we know he was iced for like 60 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just felt like there was more charisma to him. He felt like there was more personality. He felt like he was from yesteryear, but still felt like it made sense in
Yeah.
today's world of where the story was. His relationship with the, like, you know, like Natasha calls him a fossil and all that sort of stuff. Like jokes towards his past, but he still felt cool. Felt like a cool Captain America.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like a I don't know, like
Yeah.
a figure for America per se, which is, you know, how he's generally viewed as like a Boy Scout. But yeah, just wanted to throw some.
I'm gonna
with
just
soldier prop.
just off that, yeah. Obviously, because Chris Evans is quite expensive, and the show didn't have any budget near to the movies. They could actually bring him in, but there's a line that kind of explains how he becomes who he is in the Winter Soldier. Because like in the first film, like he's not a great fighter. He doesn't fight that well at all. The choreography in that movie as well kind of shows that. It's very evident. But in Winter Soldier, he's coming in. You know what I'm saying? They explain how he does that. It's a very small line, but it just shows how intertwined they were and how much depth, if they had the budget to add these characters into it,
But definitely.
it would have been so seamless.
Was he already earning big? Relatively, obviously, he was already earning well. But was he like a big earner at that point at Marvel?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think the thing is, okay, the thing is that when RDJ popped off in 2008, the coinciding films all got high budgets. Every single one of them. You know what I mean? Okay, and they may not have got like, I think Chris Evans, Christopher Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston. Oh, sorry.
It works, kind of.
Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston. Who else was it? And
Scarlett,
Scott.
yeah.
Yeah. They all got like, I think they all had like 2 picture deals. I think after Iron Man 1, before their films even came out, they all got like 5 picture deals. So like Marvel banked on it and said, yeah, like this is going to be it. Like we are going to be the first fucking franchise to put these all together from different films. And it absolutely worked. So like I think by the time his first film came out, the first Avenger, I don't think Marvel cared how well done. You know, like the powerful set for the first Avengers, and then his bank's too big after that.
Also around that time, there was a guy, I forgot his name, but I think it was like under Bob Iger at Disney or Marvel, whatever. He left because, do you remember how like there's that beef with Terrence Howard and how like he
Oh, yeah.
got taken off. So the reason for that was this guy. He wasn't trying to give them money
Yeah.
for the movies, and as soon as he left, the budgets for Marvel just went crazy. And that's obviously how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got like allowed, because they were like, okay, here's some money for it.
Oh,
And Joss Whedon's name was attached to it, but him leaving is what led to everyone else's like contracts just.
There was a lot of politics within that
Do you
period
know
for
what
Marvel
pissed me
television.
off with like these man? Yeah, okay, is that like I say it was all the time. Yeah, you guys talk about like all these like series that are doing well and Netflix, blah blah blah. Okay, I'm like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got 7 seasons, right? 7 seasons, and we're not talking like 20-minute episodes. We're talking hour episodes,
45 minutes minimum.
like 45 minimum, by the way. Like sometimes you'll stretch to 50, like 56, 57. All right, they're packing it in,
Yeah.
right? And then who's pulling me? Go away. And then it's not 10 episodes a season. It's like 20 science.
20, yeah.
It's like, bro,
With way less budget than
Way
anything
less
Disney
budget.
Plus has.
for 7 seasons, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, Desperate Housewives had 8, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, but that
That being said,
That's
though,
real-
that's
season,
real
season
television.
Bro,
7
that's
only had
a
13
glorified
episodes.
soap.
Because
Let's
that's
pull that back. Season 7 only had 13 episodes.
yeah, that's because
Because-
people didn't want it anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Everyone started that it's not canon anymore. We don't want it.
Bro, I'll say, look at every series that has over like 5 seasons. By the last two seasons, they drop it by half every single time. Friends, Game of Thrones, fucking probably I'll say Desperate Housewives, right? Just get me, like
Yeah.
it just happens, okay? But that's not the point, right?
And
The
it
point
concludes
is-
better.
Huh?
It concludes a lot better. Obviously, it has more time to get to that point, but the conclusion in those 7 episodes is a lot better than. I don't
I
wanna
think
bash
anything Marvel television
Yeah.
in that period of 2010 to like 20 before Disney Plus came, better than anything Disney Plus have put out.
So give it a go.
I've seen enough of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to know that I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't ever. It's too much. It's too much. It's way too much. I'd have to like give a year to it and like give my time slowly but surely.
Do you know,
I don't think I care enough to.
I rewatch
like-
it every year.
Do you know what's like so sick about it as well? Yeah, like do you know when like it gets like the Ultron part, and then the best part of the series for me was the
Sokovia
Sokovia
Accords.
Accords.
Yes.
The Sokovia Accords, yeah.
Yes.
It's like we saw the Accords in the most extreme version, which was obviously a civil war, right? Okay, that's like the biggest, the Avengers, they'll fight each other. Oh my god, bro. Da, da, da. But there's like a bunch of mutants and a bunch of empowered
Yeah.
individuals on Earth. Okay,
Is that what they called them?
back this.
They call them enhanced individuals.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool, yeah. Evan obviously eventually mutants.
Yeah, once we got the rights.
Well,
Yeah.
there's literally like enhanced people, then there's Inhumans, then there's mutants, and then there's like aliens, so like Asgardians and all them, man. They're all kind of a
They
bit.
had the Inhumans
Yeah.
series as well, which was shit, right?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bro, there was even a bit where Sif from Thor,
Yeah.
Thor,
Thor.
yeah.
she comes for like a whole episode, right?
I think
And-
3 episodes.
Like yeah, and it was like it was so funny because at that time, people they were all like, "Where is she?" Because she wasn't in the films, right? Okay,
Wasn't she in the first?
she was in the first film.
Yeah.
In verse 2.
Yeah, and then after that, okay, like she like even when they fucking they died in
Ragnarok. They brought her back for Loki, innit?
she was even there, fam.
They brought her back in Love and Thunder, and that was one of the worst
Yeah.
ever things they did with her character, bro.
Yeah.
A joke.
I don't-
Just a joke.
I actually don't think they knew what they were doing with her, man. Okay, it made no
Yeah.
sense to me. But anyways, like, but like, the Discovery Accords was incredible. Seeing like the generals and everything. Literally, their whole job, okay, was to just go and to get people to just sign up for
register.
these. Yeah,
Yeah.
and obviously, as we know, from Civil War to Infinity War, I think in the MC timeline, it was 2 years. It was 2 years of just running. Like people, as in like Cap,
yeah.
everyone was just running away and trying to hide. Da, 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 da. So in those 2
I would
years,
love to see what they were doing in that period. That would be quite cool.
so exactly. So in those 2 years, that's
keep
exactly
smiling.
what you get to see. Like you get to see like a bunch of these like enhanced people, the government literally just like go against each other, you know, or just like fucking run away or capture them or experiment on them, or there was loads of things, you know what I'm saying, that was going on. And especially that there was still the looming thing of like, is Hydra a real thing? Is S.H.I.E.L.D. a real thing? You know, so like, but honestly,
yeah, you see how deep, bro. Even NASA had Hydra in it. All the big government corporations. You know, I'm into Secretary Stearns. He's so hellbent on trying to get the Iron Man armor into the government.
Yeah.
He was Hydra, and they explain all that, bro. Like it recontextualizes everything in such a great way. Secret Invasion, it does that better in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with a different concept. Like, you know how dangerous Ultron was and how he's kind of the overarching reason they made the Accords, right? They explain how that the dangers of that in the show with things called LMDs. A very good concept to prevent human soldiers from getting injured in battle, right? And that somehow gets tainted. And you see the dangers of like creating AI and how something so good could be villainized. And it, again, recontextualizes how Iron Man, his vision of suit of armor around the world, it makes everything make a lot more sense, and without it taking away from what's already been done by Marvel.
I genuinely think that Disney Plus as a theory was inspired even 10% by Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it worked, and people were tuning into side stories that wasn't seen as canon to what the MCU was. Do you know what I'm saying? And then that fucking interest over 7 years, 10 years, and 7 seasons. That's incredible, man. Absolutely incredible.
Kids, are you sold? No, he's shaking his head.
Such a dick face, bro.
You know what?
He's a prestige TV boy, that's why.
It's just not for me.
Yeah, he's a bit of a TV snob.
Yeah,
he's self-admitted.
I am. Listen, you can enjoy it, and like, you've made a very good you've made a very good what's the word? A presentation out of it, to the point that I'm like, that does sound
It's
nice.
a good manifesto.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's like, you know when you go to buy some chocolates, you know what you want to get, and you know what's nice. So you can look at something and be like, that's nice, but it's just not for me. I'm gonna grab this.
All right.
Fairs.
Did you cry when it went off-world?
When they came back, I did.
Yeah. I got better upset.
Yeah, when they came back.
That was so emotional, bro. It was, bro. Honestly,
You really care for every single character,
Honestly,
and it's a massive roster. There's so many people to care for.
You care for them, like guys. You care for them.
I believe you guys.
And then when shit like hits the fan, you go nah. Do you know what I'm saying?
I believe you guys.
Even cliche things that you're like, oh, that's corny. They somehow make you care, bro.
Yeah.
You guys have done a good selling job. We'll move on though. Not because I wasn't interested.
Sorry. One last thing.
Yeah, for sure.
When they actually introduce the Kree. There, obviously, we see them in Guardians, and stuff. But then we eventually see them in Miss Marvel, and obviously the Skrulls and blah blah blah, right? But they introed them early, bro. Okay, in Agents, and what they done, okay, is that they showed their society. Like they showed how the good Kree live, how like the bad live, their complicated relationship with humans, and then the other with other planets. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay, like they're very much like a dominant people that are like extremely spiritual. You know what I mean? Okay, and that kind of stuff. So it was cool seeing like that. You know what I mean? And they had a they almost play like this like space police type vibe. Okay. But more like a space army that only the weaker beings fear, and then obviously the other ones are like, yo, fuck them, man. But it was sick, bro, and that was like almost like a whole season, you know, of them just being like in a whole different world.
Yeah.
Interesting. We'll move on to a rival of Marvel's, or a brooding rivalry, because it's going to be big summer ahead. We've got 2 like big superhero films coming out in the space of a month. And there's a lot of conversation around, you know, Marvel versus DC, and you made an interesting point, and I agree that it's better if both films do well, and if one does well,
For sure.
it's still a win because it will inspire somebody to have to up their game. You know, there is a somewhat of a fight for audiences' attention, because there's so much going on within this sphere of film and TV where, you know, people struggle to keep up with everything, right? So if you're going to put out products, it has to be of a high level. Otherwise, people are going to switch off, which they have done with Marvel to some degree. And we've got James Gunn's Superman film ready on the way. It launches on July the 11th of this year. Huss, I'll throw it to you first. What's your relationship with DC? Because I already know that you were originally more of a DC guy in terms of comic books and stuff, and the stories are much more interesting to you.
Yeah.
Which I think is a universal feeling as well, in terms of at least comic book and origin stories where the characters and the stories are more interesting. So what's your relationship maybe with Superman and DC?
Yeah, no, like you're definitely right. I've told the story like a few times, but like my parents, when they were getting me like, you know, comic books and that kind of stuff, etc., they never really asked me what I actually wanted, you know what I mean? But for them, they had to pick, and they got me. At the time, it was Flash was my first. Was my first ever comic book. You know what I mean? Okay, and then from Flash, it was Batman, Superman. You know what I mean? Green Lantern. There was like a Spiderman one thrown in there. You know what I mean? And that kind of stuff. And for them, at the time, I don't know how old they would have been, 35, 40, I don't know, bruv. Okay, do you know what I'm saying? But for them to make like those choices then, and knowing that they had no prior knowledge, do you know what I mean? And even my dad got me like a whole Star Wars set, you know, and that was just because he was a fan of Star Wars, you know what I'm saying? So I had a very strong relationship with DC. Animated wise as well, they were doing really, really well. You know, like really, really well. So like, I remember every year on our like Sky TV, we would get one like one package, and it was the cartoon and animation package, right? So it was like Cartoon Network. You know what I'm saying?
Them packages back in the day. I know about. Yeah, you could pick it.
Right, it's like a Nickelodeon and blah, blah, and
Disney and them, man.
Yeah, obviously when I hit like 15, started getting the Sky Sports.
Yeah, like low key, but I wanted one instead. Yeah,
but so like I had a very close relationship with those storylines, you know, and that kind of stuff. I wasn't a huge fan of non-X-Men and non-Spider-Man, you know, so like the Iron Mans and the Thors and stuff, I actually thought they were corny, you know, like I actually thought, alright, cool, like it doesn't really make like much sense here. I remember seeing like Shazam and like Miss Marvel and being like, oh, they just copying each other at this point, you know what I mean? And that kind of stuff, and all of that. So I was very much attached to DC a lot more than anything. I got a lot closer to the Batman comic books and to the Flash ones. I don't know why. Okay, I think that the Flash going into different worlds type stuff was sick for me. The Superman stuff got kind of boring because eventually it was kind of the same thing. Like he's unstoppable, and then wait a minute, there's kryptonite. We might be able to beat him, and then wait a minute, the kryptonite's now 2 meters away. He can kill everybody again. And I was like, all right, you know. So, but yeah, so and then obviously I guess 2007, I got into my Marvel comics, in preparation for the MCU because we had Hulk first, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, from 2008 to like 2012, guys, I think I read like, I don't know, man, hundreds of comics. You know what I mean?
Marvel.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like insane, and like I knew the Infinity War storyline and the like 5 years before.
So you're not a Superman guy?
Not particularly. I'm a Henry Cavill guy though. Love him.
So you liked Man of Steel?
I liked Man of Steel for the spectacle that it was. I didn't like it for the storyline that it had.
What didn't you like about the storyline?
I thought like the whole brooding thing of him being like it kind of mimicked Aquaman's storyline. Okay, like you know, him being away in some like fucking rig, and then it also mimicked Wolverine's storyline, which I was like, bro. In Wolverine, he goes away, yeah. He
Right.
goes away. He's in some bar, right? He's like, oh yeah, I'm whatever. I'm trying to stay low key and that, yeah. And then he has to save someone, so he's like, right? Okay, he does that. Superman does the exact same thing. He goes some fucking
Yeah, but
rig.
the context is
right?
different in Superman.
Of course, but the
Yeah.
theory is the same.
No,
The theory is the exact same.
It's so different.
It's the exact
It is
same.
very different.
And then what I didn't like here, which they addressed obviously in Batman v Superman, which by the way I think is a very harshly reviewed film.
Yeah.
You know,
The director's cut's
obviously.
very good.
Sorry.
The director's cut, the longer version, actually.
yeah. And obviously it made bank because
Them two,
Batman,
yeah.
Superman.
Superman,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't like superhero films where they don't address, like back in the day, I'd say 2001, 2000, whatever, when people used to beef, yeah, and when everyone's getting spun up, cool, fuck the public, all right? Let's not even address them. Just get me, it's calm. But now that we're like at the point where CGI is at a point where you can do things so much more. The budgets are way higher now. Okay, blah blah blah. Address it. Okay, and Man of Steel burnt through so many buildings, so many people. Yeah, bro, like 9/11 here, that was 2 buildings, and to this day we have we have a minute of silence, bro. Like every single year, Man of Steel ran through a whole city, fam.
Bro, the destruction in that, you know what it is?
It was peak.
It wasn't until, so you know, Batman vs Superman, the opening, they showed the destruction, right?
But they
I
addressed
then
it.
I then went back and watched Man of Steel,
It's-
and now watching it, I'm like, yo, stop it.
Like, I don't think they needed to do that to show his or Thingy's strength. Sorry, what was his
Zod.
name? Yeah. Okay. I don't think
It wasn't
they
about
needed
strength,
to
though.
do that. No, but it's about strength and consequences. That's
No.
all Superman's about, right? Come on.
No, I think Man of Steel is a very different Superman story,
Yes.
and we kind of have to see it for that. And it's not just because it's sadder and it's darker. There's a lot more that goes into it. Like when the film starts,
Yeah.
it's about Krypton sending out these probes,
Yes.
so they can find other worlds that they can survive on, because their
Correct.
world is being mined too much, right?
Correct.
They put all their effort, all their whole culture, their whole survivability into this man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they send him off.
Yes.
Then the first thing he does when he gets to Earth is use his powers. His dad says no. When he disobeys him, he saves the kids on the bus. His dad tells him off, right? He could have easily saved that dog in that car,
Easily.
but his dad went, because it's not about just always doing it, because his dad knew the world wouldn't accept him for who he is. And it shows in Batman v Superman.
Beautiful.
They show it so well, right?
Love that part of it.
So it was about protecting him and show, like, when he's ready, he will then go out, which is why he only ever publicly uses his powers
Just
when
power and consequences.
no. It's
Exact
not
same
about, well, okay, sure, but I think it was him going away.
Yeah.
Was in respect to what his dad did. He's trying to understand why he was shielding him from the world. Because even when Lois Lane finds out who Clark Kent is,
Yeah.
right? When he tells her his story,
Mm-hmm.
she then says, "I'm not writing this anymore. I'm not gonna do the expose anymore."
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
It was about, she respected that, and that's
Yeah.
what not James, Zack Snyder was trying to like put out.
Yeah.
Like, just because he's like all powerful, he's not human, but he is human.
Yeah.
And they explored that really well. And that fight you're talking about at the end, it was Zod trying to save Krypton, not just to show his power. He was literally trying to turn Earth into Krypton.
Yeah.
Because Kryptonians couldn't necessarily survive on just Earth's sun alone. They had to
Yeah,
like
isn't that
change
again
the
even-
atmosphere.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Give me like a scene where, do you remember when like Zod, like I think the first place that he hit was this massive ocean, right? I was like, it was like a whole thing, whatever.
Yeah.
When that happens, okay, give me like a scene where like a commissioner or somebody, or I don't know, bruv, okay, somebody is like evacuate the city, sort of like in Godzilla, you know, where I think it was the Godzilla one where it was all like dark and everything, and he was fighting like a different man's about to say fucking dinosaur. Yeah. And it was like super dark, and like they then had to come into the city, right? The same in Transformers, okay, when it was in Chicago, they evacuated the city and then like set up for like war. Do you know what I mean? I feel like with a Superman film where his whole thing is people and hope, right? They should have just addressed that a little bit, like more.
At the end.
How?
When
helps
Zod
Zod.
literally
Say-
when
yeah.
Zod is trying to like label
Kill.
them people, and then
Exactly.
he has to literally fight his intuition. He's not trying to end him,
But he
but he
has to.
has
No,
to.
no, no. That's fine. I get
Yeah.
it. What I'm trying to say is, okay, is my brother, you killed like 10k people going through
But
the
it
building, my
wasn't-
brother.
Yeah, that is true though. That is
He was trying to like it's that duality of you trying to help. I think that's what James Gunn is doing in this film, because they're showing it quite a bit. Where like he's trying to do his best to save people, but because of circumstances outside of his power, he's not strong enough to do it.
Cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I think because they were leaning into the dark thing, okay, and they missed that part of the storyline, okay? And I think personally, they knew they made a mistake, because in Batman v Superman, the first scene is them literally going, all right, cool, some man are pissed. You know what I mean?
But since some man,
Okay, some man
yeah.
are fuming. Okay, there's certain man here that are planning to plot now here.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some man that are now a part of like a sigil thing or like a fucking grave. Okay, like where we are realizing that something happened here.
Yeah.
You get me? If Batman v's Superman never happens, right? You don't get the disdain or the storyline for a Superman in the comic books, yeah, for a long time is an anti-hero, right? Because yes he is, until he kind of aligns with the Justice League, blah blah blah, all of that stuff. Okay, Lex Luthor runs smear campaigns, like massive ones. Okay, like political agendas. Okay, the same way that kind of like a fist does, you know. Okay, and it's all based around the destruction of people, which obviously is for duality, because he's trying to be the people's people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like,
So you see how you can't get that without showing the destruction.
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't show me a destruction of millions of people. Show me a destruction of like a fucking, like a school, and then kids die, like 30 of them, and you know, and then you go, oh my god, we're so sorry. Okay, cool, bless.
The Avengers destroy a whole country.
And they addressed it.
Yeah,
Civil War
exactly.
was based on
Exactly.
all of that.
But you can't have Civil War without Age of Ultron.
Yes.
Just like you can't have Batman v Superman without Man of Steel.
Yes, but in the Avengers, okay, the difference is is that when they landed there, okay,
Right.
Cap's first scene is, yo,
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You do this and you do that to the cops.
Fucking-
Right. Okay.
Clear-
Hang on a minute.
clear
They had time to do that because they were stealthy. Superman's literally just flown back from
What?
space.
Yeah, and the guy's fighting him
How
right
is he-
on there.
And the people he's trying to tell to clear out are trying to fight him.
Yeah,
So how does he have time to clear out the city?
I don't know. Figure it out. Okay, write in the script, bruv. Okay, I don't fucking know.
It's more.
You're asking me.
It's
Ask
more
Zach.
realistic. It's more realistic for Superman than the Avengers. Did you know that, right?
Bro.
Ultron
Oh my
literally says he was stalling. He could have done that thing before the Avengers even got there. He literally says he was stalling. Superman had no time to stall. Zod had no time to stall. He literally just came. He was on business. I'm trying to turn Earth.
Zod gave a warning. Zod came out, okay, and gave a broadcast fucking
Yeah.
Bro, he
Because-
done an
because-
Instagram live, okay, and said, you man, listen, yeah.
No.
You guys got like a couple hours, yeah.
To bring me
give me
Superman.
bring
Yeah,
me
different,
Superman.
because
he
or else
needed-
I'm gonna run it all up.
Exactly.
Get me?
And when he got what he needed from Superman, he then went on business. I'm destroying the Earth.
Yes, but then you had the time from the Instagram live, okay, to then cancel it. Do you get me? To then evacuate or to
But to evacuate the whole world.
Yeah,
Them
like-
things went all around the world.
He went every single
Yeah, they went
city.
to every
Every single
single
city,
city.
get him here.
Exactly.
Bro.
There's nowhere
Do you know what-
to
do you
take
know what
them.
I hate about that fucking film as well, yeah?
Yeah.
I get it. In like most films, the fucking military always like keeps everything very close knit. Right? Once he done his TikTok live, okay. At that point, they had the tech to see where they were all coming down. Okay, you can see it, right?
Okay, right, yeah.
Why couldn't they be like? Why couldn't they say to people, "Ah, guys, okay, do you know what? Okay, these are your safe points. Here, boom." And then everyone just go.
Huss, have
Get
you
me?
seen?
It's a one. But wait.
All I'm trying to say
Sorry,
is, yeah.
it's a one-liner.
Yeah.
Like it's not even a whole scene.
But they what's the word I'm trying to say here? They learn from that because in Justice League, before they have that fight, they evacuate.
Evacuate everyone.
So it's all about learning from what's gone wrong the first time, right?
So you're saying that he's an amateur hero?
Yeah, it's his first time being Superman. Like,
As far as we're aware, he
Are you
was very
guys
much
are you guys
comfortable in
Henry
that
Cavill
suit.
guys?
I like Cavill.
if he had a different haircut in Justice League, I would have been such a fan. But it's the haircut. I can't not see it.
I like Cavill because I feel like a good Superman is a Superman that does two things well. A Superman that aura farms. Okay, like you have to be a goat aura farmer. Like you have to
You have to radiate it.
You have to radiate that bitch. Okay, like if you
have the smell of aura.
Yeah, if you shoot something and there's like and there's like massive firebomb, right? I want you strolling through it, not flying
Slow mo.
The flaps.
Zack Snyder.
I want you strolling through it, yeah, bro. I want things going off your face and you're not even twitching. He's like, yeah, calm. That's what I want.
Right.
Okay.
And what's the other one?
And it's him in pain, because it's an emotion that we don't see much, right? So when we do see it, it has to be done really well. And the scene in Batman vs Superman, okay, where he's getting cut here and then he and there's like he's trying to mother like and he's on the floor. That was for me. I think Cavill smashed that shit. You know what I mean, because he was desperate. Like at fucking that point, he's trying to get through to Bruce. Do you know? So I think that was really, really good. Now him generally as a Superman, he was okay. You know, my worst character in the whole series, in the whole Batman v Superman, Justice League, nope, Lois Lane. She was the catalyst of every problem that happened. Every single issue they had was because of her. In Batman v Superman, okay, when Doom's thingy guy, whatever his name is, yeah, fucking came through, right? She took the kryptonite spear and dashed it. Okay, she dashed it, and then she went swimming for it.
To save his life,
bro. She's inconvenient. Okay, and then not only that, okay, she was supposed to protect the mum, and then guess what? The mum got killed up anyway, bro. You get me, bro? She was useless. She was useless. Yeah, and then Lex even uses her to get to him. She was so useless. Yeah, and obviously the start of the film, yeah, where he runs through that terrorist group here, blah blah blah. Right? They used her to lure him there. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, and she knew that. She smiled when he came through, yeah, and embodied that. Which, by the way, is a crazy scene, yeah.
Bearman are dead in the background. Bearman are dead. And she's smiling like it's so cool.
He went through like 9 buildings, yeah. Gone, yeah, and she's smiling. She aura farmed immediately. She was like,
yeah.
I was like, bitch, who the fuck do you think you are? Honestly, she was the worst. She caused every issue in like 3 films.
I was gonna say, by the way, I couldn't live in one of these cities, you know. But if I'm chilling there and I see Superman, I'm like, yo, I'm getting out of it. I'm getting out of it.
I love how
it's definitely New York tax.
Oh,
Marvel addressed that in Thunderbolts, right? It's like, how can you live here, man? It's peak, fam. Like, it's actually so peak.
I said every other day a new kaiju. I'm get out of it, man.
Literally.
Yeah, they have to do some sort of tax deduction on living.
Oh, but you can't pay tax.
Yeah.
It has to be like, there's no tax for you, man.
Yeah, but overall, I am very much looking forward to Superman. I think it's a staple for DC. I actually think if they get a Superman film right, they get a lot of the franchise right. You know, it's almost like a free pass to them. Okay, I think it was more difficult for Marvel because they had to do it with characters that weren't that known. You know, they didn't have Spiderman and the
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Fantastic Four, X-Men, etc. that can do that. So the stories had to be weaved together so well. I think DC can get away with individual storylines that can eventually be put together. That's fine, but the characters are so strong in the comics and in the series that they can have their own franchises. Like I don't see why he doesn't do a connected universe and just does 4 Superman films. Do you know what I mean? Like he can easily do that and it bang. You know, like it almost feels like, I felt like when I was young, a Superman film felt like a James Bond film. Like it was just gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? It was just gonna happen.
Well, we have David Corenswet as Superman alongside Rachel Brosnahan as
What do you think of him?
I love him.
What do you feel of him?
He looks like he could do both Superman and Clark Kent to a very.
He looks like he can do Clark. If I saw him as Superman, I think I can knock him out.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
No way, bro.
He looks bolo.
He looks bolo.
He looks like a pussy old fam.
Nah.
Oh, face wise, yeah, but he looks bolo.
He's tall as hell.
How tall is he?
Basically Henry Cavill.
Huh?
Have you seen that? Like when they first cast him, when they first announced him as as Superman, they released like a clip of him training, and side by side looked just like Henry Cavill,
Really?
body wise. Yeah, it's nuts.
Body wise.
Body-
Henry Cavill's a beast though.
Body wise, he's
Okay.
huge.
He's 6'3", bro.
He's 6'3".
He's a unit, man.
Do you think I can,
He's rethinking it.
No.
No?
We've also got Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Eli, I wanted to know your thoughts. What are your feelings on Superman as a character? And the reason I ask is because a lot of people, when they discuss Superman, they say, Superman's a bit boring. I've been I wouldn't say victim because I'm the perpetrator of that, but I've been a person that said, I don't really find him too interesting. But if you look deeper, there are layers to his character in terms of how powerful he is and having to contain that within a world that doesn't accept you, etc. What are your thoughts on Superman coming up and your expectations from a James Gunn Superman film?
Yeah, I love Superman. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't love him. I think
Right, so
his ideals, obviously my faith comes into it a little bit. I think he's kind of like Moses, where like he's sent away to a place where he doesn't belong and somehow he's supposed to help them, right? And doing that regardless of you being accepted, I think there's a very strong core as a character. I stand for a lot of what before Injustice, I stand for a lot of what he stands for. He doesn't just punish people for the sake of punishing them. He tries to rehabilitate. Unless, of course, you're beyond that, right? He'll do the extreme like Fazad. So just that in mind, I think he's a dope character. Having to take the longer route just to make sure there's a lot more good that comes out of it. Because it's very easy. You can just punch everyone up. Like, even in Batman Superman, you could have easily taken him out. But it's just him trying to level with us. And I like that a lot.
humanity, yeah.
Yeah, I like his relationship with friends like Jimmy Olsen. I don't know if you have seen Smallville, but that show really made me enjoy the character a lot more. And he's not that he is invincible, but he's not that invincible. And it's through his humanity that he shows that.
Yeah. James Gunn, are you excited?
Yes.
James Gunn bringing that to life as well?
Absolutely.
What do you guys like about James Gunn as a director?
Do you think it was like an ego thing that he done Superman? Because he didn't have to.
No, I think it's a passion thing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily ego thing. He's good at like character work, like making people that would be boring or uninteresting. He's good at making them interesting, like Peacemaker, for example. Boring character at the helm of it, but he makes it interesting. So I'd like to see his direction, and also that it's not an origin story. I'm excited for that fact. Yeah, that fact as well. He's been working for a minute, so seeing a Superman that's been active and he's already a symbol of
because
hope.
we've done the origin story before.
Yeah,
we've seen it, done it.
Taking the Spiderman route, yeah.
Apparently, it's inspired by the All-Star Superman comic.
Great comic.
Is that a good comic?
Very good comic.
Okay. Without spoiling, is there anything that you can look forward to from that comic being put into live action without like spoilers per se?
I think the relationship with Lex, it's going to be very interesting.
Nicholas Holt's a really good actor, man.
Yeah,
he's a good actor.
Their back and forths will be dope.
And people seem to think or forget that he's played a lot of like dickhead characters before.
Yeah.
The one that comes to mind for me is obviously one of his first roles in Skins, where like his character's a complete twat. But like he's capable of doing it. I think because of some of his old roles more recently has been a bit more, I don't know. He looks like the good kid, placid, chilled.
Have you seen The Order last year?
Oh, the Clint Eastwood film?
I think it's Clint Eastwood, but Jude Law with it.
Oh no.
Jude Law and Nicholas Hoult.
That came out a month after the Clint Eastwood film. But I've heard good things about it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like in that film, he plays like a dark person.
I've heard
completely
good things
yeah.
about that film, man.
He's very good in that.
Yeah. I think he's a good actor. I'm really looking forward to seeing Lex. He looks like the biggest hater of all time in some of the clips. I've only watched one trailer.
It's nuts.
I've only watched one trailer though, so we'll see what happens with that. Any final thoughts on Superman, Huss, from you?
I do think I saw like there was a few things in the trailer that caught my eye. You know, obviously,
there's a lot of characters.
Obviously, they updated the second trailer. I don't know if you clocked with the can stuff and etc. There was like a lot of like fan backlash because there's a scene where in the first trailer where a member of the public throws a can at thingy Superman, and then he does this, and it's like cool, and then people are like, wait a minute, he's not gonna flinch, it's a can, all right, why is he flinching for? You know what I mean? So in the second trailer, it's the same scene, and he doesn't flinch. So like and James is like admitting like, yeah, that's good feedback. Do you know what I'm saying? That shit like that.
He seems really communicative in comparison to, and it's not a slight on either. Kevin Feige doesn't really come out and talk much unless he's doing big promo before the film's coming out.
Exactly,
or afterwards. Whereas James Gunn's taken the complete opposite. He seems to be taking bits and pieces maybe from what he learned from Kevin, as well as what he maybe might do differently. So he's a lot more.
Especially where DC is, I think it's a good route because people are doubting DC.
And he's probably the biggest name in DC in terms of like from behind the scenes and cast or crew. He's the biggest name.
Well, yeah, that's why he's there, isn't it? Like he's their Feige now, isn't it? So, like,
But like with Marvel, you've got Robert Downey Jr. or you've got Hugh Jackman. They're bigger than Feige worldwide, whereas James Gunn's probably the most well-known name within the context of what they've got right now.
Yeah, but at the same time as well, is that like he needs to be the most influential person in that fucking building. Do you know what I mean? Okay, like,
seems like he's got the keys as well, man.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously in the trailer as well, we see Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern.
Guy Gardner.
I love that, that he just throws his boys just in his projects, just like whenever he can.
Do you know, I'm not a fan of Nathan Fillion too tough. And then when he was in this third Guardians film, I was like, okay, it's a bit corny, but it's not as corny as I thought it was going to be. I know that he puts his brother in like
everything. You're getting paid, my bro.
Yeah.
The thing is though, his brother's actually a good actor. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not too mad at it, right?
I think he brought back some of the Guardians as well.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you want to meet this, but some of the robots.
Yeah, you mentioned Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, apparently some of the Guardians are the robots.
Yeah, and his wife.
Yeah. But like even with that Nathan Fillion being a guy, right? I'm glad that he's going with a different Green Lantern because it's going to open the doors for a few other Green Lanterns in theory, right?
Which we're going to get,
Yeah, there's a whole show.
Yeah. So like I'm so excited for that. I'm glad that
RMPF,
because I didn't want Nathan Fillion to be the main one. I can't lie.
Oh yeah, even though he would have older Nathan Fillion would have been the perfect.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like Hal Jordan.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll be a good Cal right now.
Nah.
At all. So I was happy when he got cast. I was fuming because I didn't know.
You thought it was all right. Yeah.
So I was fuming, and then but the scene that he done, if he calls in the trailer, guys, I don't know if you've seen it. Well, he's kind of like if you're walking across the desert, walking on, and he kind of like flicks his hand, and then a green hand comes from like the floor up, and then it hits a fucking tank. And people are like, well, that makes no sense because the power is supposed to come from the ring and da, 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 da. And then they broke it down like, no, if you're like a very, very skilled Lantern Corps, whatever, you can still emulate what comes from your fucking mind to like a certain meter point.
I'm gonna be real. Superman lore, it's a bit beyond me, man. I'll be.
Yeah. No, this is
me learning
Green
from you
Lantern,
guys.
Yeah. This is Lantern lore.
Yeah, but it's from the context of the film.
Yeah. And I actually think when they introed the Lantern Corps in Batman v Superman in the flashback scene, where it was like the Wonder Woman when
they fought what's his name, Darkseid.
When they fought Darkseid.
Oh, in Justice League, yeah.
I thought that was such a sick scene as well. Just like seeing that, and it needs. Come on, look. The same way that Aquaman, prior to the films, for a long time was a laughing stock in this fucking comic world. The same reason why after what's his name?
Jason Momoa.
No, after who's Deadpool again?
Ryan Reynolds.
After we hated the whole Lantern Corps thing because that was such an ass film. Okay? Or generally, just generally, people.
Oh, you're talking about? Oh, right.
So Aquaman got a solid rebound, and I think that they've been doing that now with the Lantern Corps. That like it needs to not be corny. It can't be this childish thing that it like has to be taken like as a serious power, But yeah, I'm super excited for it, man. I think the cast looks fucking dope. It's colorful as hell. It's very, very. It's like
I think it's the
colourful.
antithesis of anything that Snyder would have done before. Not just because Snyder did it, but because you have to make it different from what we've already had. Otherwise, what's the point of making a superhero film or a Superman film if it's already been done?
I think it's just James Gunn's style.
Exactly.
Also, naturally as well. But why repeat what's already been done?
But the thing is,
before?
he said last week or 2 weeks ago, right, that he's not planning for a Justice League film. You know, he was like, he was like, if it feels right, then cool.
Did he not say after he's done like the scripts for Batman and the scripts for Wonder Woman, and he's got a solid trilogy? I mean, what do they call them again? The Trinity. He's got the DC Trinity. Then he's gonna like look into it.
Yeah. Make sure the films are good first, and then we build up for that foundation.
And he's doing a separate Batman to the Batman, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be so confusing a little bit, man.
He said they're working on the script for
Monday.
His Batman Bold, Brave and the Bold.
Brave and the Bold, yeah.
And obviously Matt Reeves is apparently handing in the Batman
Monday.
2 script.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, coming up soon.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Apparently Matt Reeves is a slow writer. It makes sense though. You can tell he's a very like meticulous.
Yeah, I'd rather take his time and get it right than rush and we're like
6 years is
Nah,
it's been 6 years.
it's gonna be when it comes out.
by the time
It's gonna be 6 years.
I think the Batman came out 2021
2022
or 2, so it's like four to
oh
five.
my, it's been 3 years since the Batman.
Yeah.
It feels like it was a year ago. I don't know
so
why.
beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been a minute. It's
Yeah.
a good film.
It's a good film.
Do you know why? I think it's because I've watched it so many times.
I've watched it so many times.
That's what it is.
I can't lie. I'm a fanboy for that.
Yeah,
film.
I don't
Same.
feel
Fanboy.
that. I always watch it.
You didn't love it like we did. I know you liked
I
it.
love the film.
No, because you know me and Manny like Papa.
They think it's the best cover of all time.
No,
I think it's the best.
What? Best movie of all time?
No,
Yeah.
I think it's the best.
don't think that. I think it's one of the best.
Huh?
I'd have it in my top 5.
Yeah. It's my favorite Batman. I know that's very bad to say. It's probably my favorite Batman.
Oh yeah, I'd back that.
Even though I love the Dark Knight, I love the Dark Knight, but I don't know why I'm
The Dark
so.
Knight is better than that film.
As a movie, sure.
Yes.
See, I like the show though.
Yeah.
As a Batman movie, here's the thing: you can't take them out of context, right?
Yeah.
In their context, yes, The Dark Knight, brilliant, amazing. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's not good, but there's something about the way Gotham's contextualized and the way Batman's contextualized in the Batman that works a lot better than Batman was.
Yeah, different goals.
contextualized. Huh?
There's different goals.
Not really.
There was very different goals.
Let's say that we'll get him back for another conversation. Like we do have to move on because I know it sounds like a good convo, but we have to move to F4, man. Sorry, I have to do host duties. We do have another big film coming out though this year in Fantastic Four in the month of July, and there's a lot of fan anticipation for this one and a lot of pressure due to some of the successes and the failures of previous Fantastic Four films. Huss, quick, brief, deep dive into your relationship with the Fantastic Four. Obviously, the cast here has received mixed reception,
yeah.
I think. We've got Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. You've got Vanessa Kirby as Sue, who is allegedly pregnant, or is pregnant. Joseph Quinn as Johnny, and Ebon Ross-Backrack as Ben. Julia Garner is playing Silver Surfer. Ralph Ineson is Galactus. It's a fucking great casting, by the way. Fucking great casting.
Who's John Malkovich playing?
Who?
John Malkovich is in it. It says here.
If you could find that out for us, that'd be
I'm
great.
literally. It says, what won't give me the what
Oh, it might be like they haven't revealed who he is. Or
Wait, can I see how it looks?
Oh, okay.
John Malkovich is in it.
Yeah, it's just he's literally he's the third name on the list of like.
Damn.
Check IMDb for double up. But Huss, how are you feeling about this Fantastic Four film compared to the others that we've had? And how important is this film for Marvel? One, Superman is next door, like lurking behind you with huge pre-sales. And two, within the context of leading up to Doomsday.
I think it's
like,
I think it's telling, and it's kind of coincidental, but like a happy coincidence that it's going up against Superman. DC's, you could say franchise hero,
flagship.
And then and F4 being the first ever comic book ever. Well, actually, it was the Human Torch Volume 1, which obviously was an F4 comic book, and that being like Stan Lee's first. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and that kind of stuff. So, and this is the first F4 film, which you can agree or disagree that I feel like has purpose. I feel like that the thing with the other F4 films, which is really funny to say because a lot of the films in the MCU didn't need the MCU, in my opinion. And I think actually being part of the MCU might have dwindled their light, you know?
Like Winter Soldier.
Like some of the films, I'm not gonna say which films because of my clear Marvel bias.
Interesting. I don't know which films those are.
No, like for example, I actually think like Shang-Chi, which I love that film. I think as an individual film would have done better. Like you said, okay, they might not have rushed that end
Into the CGI first,
yeah, you know, and there's like
film,
there's like a lot of films in the MCU, even Doctor Strange too. Okay, and these, honestly, bro, there's so many films here where like outside of them, right? If they weren't part of this like wider world, okay, they would do some of the storylines.
Because they haven't got to fit into the
exactly
right. I've got
like they don't always have to arch back into the MCU
to the wider goal. Yeah.
Whereas I think F4 benefits from that greatly, you know, and I feel like the first like couple versions are versing Doom, right? And you're not seeing the gravity of this character. A lot of like casual comic book watchers or whatever, okay, when they heard about Fiend Doomsday, they were, bro, I have a lot of friends, okay, that are like, so, you know what I mean? That's
because they've already seen the other F4 film.
Yeah, because they're literally going, oh, that's not bigger than Thingy. Yeah, and it's like, you might have no idea in the comics, yeah, how dimensional this character is and how he's actually fought people like Death, okay, Kang, like everyone. He's fought every single cosmic fucking being that you can think of, right? And the beauty of his whole thing is that his weakness is Reed Richards. Do you know what I'm saying? He can fight all the celestial beings in the down world, but his emotional hate and I guess love for what that, you know, F4 is his fucking kryptonite. You know, and we don't see that enough. We get it. I guess the closest part that we ever get to was probably, which was, I hate to say this because it's very fucking shit, but the Michael B. Jordan one, in that awful film. Trust me, awful film. But we get to see the glimpse of the respectable relationship between
the two, yeah.
Between the two, right?
I think we had it pretty good in the other ones as well.
Yes, but then he turned too quickly. Like he turned.
Oh right, yeah, okay.
He was like, "Oh, I like." They made it seem like he didn't like that he only didn't like Reed because he was smashing Sue. Do you know what I'm saying?
Fair point. Fair point.
Like they made it a lot about this love triangle, whereas obviously
in the other ones about
the other one,
science.
it was about science.
Yeah.
So I think that the MCU is the perfect way to kind of like show like the level of who Doom is, okay, because they've had a successful run with, I think the MCU. I think the key to their greatness was good antagonists. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so like I think like this is going to be a fantastic one if they do it in the way that I think that they're going to do it.
Fantastic.
Oh. Then I'm really much looking forward to it. Can I say as well, before the trailer came out, yeah, my partner, we were talking about, she's also a comic book fan. Her sister is like 16. She started reading comic books, right? And then she was like to me, oh my god, it's like, you know, F4's coming out, and I said to her, do you know there's a storyline, yeah, that one of my favorite comic books that I've ever read, where it's all based around their fucking wedding. Okay, it's it's definitely a wedding. The wedding gets crashed. Reed Richard dies. Okay, and then it's actually Wanda and Vision that take their kids in. Okay, and then take like I was saying two of their kids in. One of them they teach like magic too and whatever and and it's like this whole like cosmic story that starts to build, and the trailer comes up the next day and she's pregnant, and I was like, oh my days. I was like, don't tease me, bruv. don't tease me, because obviously they tried doing it in the first one, right? They tried doing the whole thing about that they were trying to get to the wedding, right? So yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. The casting, I've eased myself into it a bit more. I'm very nervous for Pedro Pascal. He's going to have a fantastic year, as we know. He's got like 4 or 5 films that are coming up that are outstanding. Well, in theory, do you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm nervous for him because it's not a role that you do lightly. You know what I'm saying? And it's a role where like he has to play so many different types of himself. You know, he has to be this like savior of his father, this scientist, a genius. Okay, he also has to be a fighter, which, by the way, we didn't even see till the 3rd trailer. You know, like him like stretching out. Do you know what I'm saying? And even then, it was like a fucking glimpse. So I'm nervous for him. Vanessa Kirby, I'm a huge fan of after Napoleon. Film was ass, but she was fantastic.
Okay, well, I was gonna say like,
no, she was brilliant
good
in that film.
it, yeah.
She was brilliant in that film. And seeing her in the trailers, loved her. Okay, I love the aesthetic of it. All right, and obviously, you know, connecting to the MCU, it wasn't a bad thing that Thunderbolts done well, and at the end we saw that fantastic scene. You know what I mean? And that was incredible. And
Thunderbolts, it's upset me, man. But it's another topic.
Yeah, what?
It's upset me. Yeah,
in a good way or bad way?
Box office wise, it's kind of suffered and failed. Critically, it was. Well,
I thought, do you know? Yeah, people keep saying that. Yeah, but their global numbers are like 500 million now. Like, isn't that good?
It still hasn't made profit apparently.
Nah, it surely has by now.
No,
but anyways,
box office wise, yeah, it's not. But yeah, no, I enjoyed Thunderbolts. I thought it was good film. Yeah. Eli, your thoughts on F4?
I feel like you have contrasting thoughts. You're giving me like a lot of faces.
Nah, I'm not. I'm only contrasting. No, I'm actually not contrasting. I think I'm a fan of the casting. I've heard some stuff.
All of them?
Well, I'm just about to
Please go on quickly.
Yeah, so it says here that Thunderbolts has grossed $355 million worldwide, with $174 million domestically and 181 internationally. And a report by World Report is saying that it is considered a disappointment for Marvel, for the MCU.
Yeah, I don't care what they say. Even at this point, Marvel don't need a financial banger, but they need
they need good films.
Yeah,
that's the point I've made. That I hope it's a building block to build people, to get people's trust.
Yeah, but as guys were saying, reportedly it needs around 500 million to break even
because of the thing of the they spent like 100 mil on the fucking marketing budget.
Yeah. So what guys are saying is that it's, as of right now, it's not even broken even yet.
That's fine. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I've heard some stuff that they've had to do a lot of reshoots based off of Johnny Storm.
Oh.
But it's for the better.
Okay.
Like, apparently it was a little bit... I was a fan of him being cast as Johnny from the beginning, but then I had the report and I was like, okay, cool, maybe something's a bit wrong here. But they've reshot it, and I think the trailers kind of show us that he wasn't really much in the first trailer.
Okay, yeah.
And as things have gone on, he's had more to say in the trailers, so I'm assuming it's because of that. And then Reed Richards. I think Pedro's had a lot going on work-wise, in a good way. Like, he's had a lot of work this year, which is great. But I don't think he's gonna do Reed that much justice.
Do you think he'll do Reed well in the dialogue sense when it comes to like Doomsday? Do you get me? Like when he's with other characters that aren't.
Yeah,
Doomsday.
Maybe. I'm gonna have to see it. Like at the minute, I'm not too sold on him still. But when the film comes out, I'm pretty sure I'll be proved wrong, and I'll be very happy for that. But at the minute, I'm very iffy with him. But the other two, Ebba Moss, I think he's the perfect casting for Ben.
For that.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, because literally
really good, honestly. And his voice is perfect as well.
Yeah, and as well, Charlotte Ball, what's her name, Julia Garner. I think she looks great. Like,
or what, as a Silver Surfer?
Silver Surfer.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I'm a fan.
There's like a alpha male Andrew Tate backlash, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
type vibe.
If the film's good, shut up.
Exactly.
She's a great actress.
Bro, she's a great actress.
She looks good in the trailer.
And not only that, she looks good. As in like when I heard, my biggest fear was the aesthetic of the Silver Surfer. I was like to them, like, don't make it too sexual. That's obviously thing one, but then also don't veer away from what we loved about the first
Excuse me.
theatrical,
Yeah.
F4 film, where he was the best looking thing in probably any F4 film that we've ever got. Do you know what I mean? Like, that fucking character, the Silver Surfer, was incredible. I don't even know who. What?
He's saying, best looking.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
No, like as in best, like aesthetically looking.
Again, I don't know about that. Yeah.
What?
Jessica Alba.
Get album, man. Come
bugging.
on.
Oh, just
Yeah.
okay.
It's him. Come on, man. It's him.
Bro, they over sexualized her, man. It was deep, Like,
I know. I heard about it actually. It was actually
Yeah.
kind of peak what happened to her.
But yeah, that's what I was like, as long as that's cool.
Yeah.
And when I saw her in the thing, I was like, perfect. I was like, alright, cool, great. And I'm not too worried now. I'd heard that they changed it though, right? So obviously
they did.
in the comic book, it's that his wife and his kids, planet, are in danger, blah blah blah. And in this one, I could be wrong, but in this one, her world is already destroyed, and he's holding her husband and children captive.
Yeah. No, I think because there's two different, there's a few Silver Surfers,
Yeah.
but this version is not the Norrin Rad version that we're all
Yeah.
used to,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be obviously different. So I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too.
I've been here for it since they announced it.
I'm looking forward to Galactus as well. From
Yeah.
what I saw, there's people who had seen early screeners, like very early, and they're saying Ralph Ineson as Galactus is like spot on. So that would be really exciting because a good antagonist always helps a story. Innit? Always. So.
Strongly.
Big time.
And I think his voice, he's got like such a powerful, like dominating. Excuse me, such a powerful and dominating voice. So that should be really cool. And apparently, he actually really looks good as Galactus as well, like visually.
Do you know, like, obviously, like, they made him a fucking cloud, right? Previously,
Oh,
and that kind of stuff. And then I saw like a lot of people like just fan theories. Okay, if you talk about like, I feel like the uneducational care about the comics is what led to them doing the whole cloud shit, right? It was like, oh wait a minute, if he's a eater of worlds, how's that gonna happen? Like, it can't be like a person that think that would look so fucking corny, where he just goes but
Yeah.
actually in the fucking comic books, yeah, he's an eater of worlds, but he doesn't eat the world.
yeah, I guess the energy.
He takes the energy, right? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he'll land and then suck everything out of it, okay, and then
The way that he was doing this.
and then cool. So I feel like that they're gonna explore that now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, and obviously him being there and that kind of stuff. I do hope that he doesn't play this like Godzilla role where he just kind of walks around and just goes. "Rah."
No, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That would be fucking shit.
You seen that clip from one of the animated films when Captain America's just going at his leg?
He's like, so yeah, man.
Well, Matt Shackman is helming the film. He did obviously WandaVision, which is why he's back. And I think he did a good job with
Yeah.
WandaVision. So it does give you like a bit of hope that the film can
It
be a
looks good
success.
as well, right? So so yeah.
Interesting. So Eli, I've got some games for you to wrap up the episode. 2 or
Cool.
3, one of which you will be involved in. Yeah.
Nice.
We'll start with you though.
Okay, cool.
Keep 5, bin 5. It's pretty easy.
Oh,
You
boy.
don't know what's coming here. Pause. You don't know which
5, bin 5.
which films I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you 10 MCU films, and you have to keep 5, and you have to bin 5. And you're going to tell us which ones.
So
you're
I don't know when. Okay,
You
cool.
don't know.
Okay, cool.
So you got alright, cool.
But give us maybe a 10-second reason as to why you've kept it or binned it as well,
Cool.
so that he can clip it up and make you sound intellectual.
Yeah. Nothing like long. Just
Right.
short.
10 seconds,
Gotcha.
15
Yeah.
seconds max.
Yeah.
First film is The Dark Knight. Keep or bin?
Are you mentally ill?
Huh?
Yeah, he's got the Basolo trait. He's mentally ill.
Oh, shut.
Okay,
It's the seat. It's placed at the seat.
I'm gonna keep it.
Obviously.
Yeah. Not obviously. I'm gonna keep it because of how great it looks.
Looks.
Yeah. It's technically a great film, cinematography wise and acting wise. I'm not a fan of the Bruce Wayne character in that though, but I'll keep it.
Interesting. Did you prefer Bruce Wayne in Batman Begins? Or you just didn't like his Bruce at all?
I did not like the Bruce at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did like his... What about his Batman?
I like the Batman.
You did?
Yeah.
I'm kind of more on. I prefer this Bruce to his Batman. Interesting. Next up, we have Logan. Keep or bin?
Keep, obviously. Just great film. Decent story from all of them. Great acting from obviously Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Cool.
So 2 keeps so far.
Civil War.
See, I don't know what else is coming. This is the thing. I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna keep Civil War.
Ooh, okay.
Because it sets up so much for the rest of the MCU, and I liked that it's one of the first films where like the consequences actually stick and they don't shy away from the consequences of that film. So yeah, I'm keeping it.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Are you serious? So that's what 3 keeps, right?
What's coming next then, fam?
That's what I'm saying.
You're going hard, bruv.
Is that
There's a lot of good films, bro.
3 keeps?
You've got 3 keeps.
Okay. Obviously, wait, across.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what else is coming.
I'm bumping it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna bin this one only because it's not complete, and I hate this reasoning, but it's not a complete film.
Okay. Infinity War.
Keep.
That goes without saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Infinity War.
Winter Soldier.
I guess that's my last keep.
Really?
Yeah.
You've done this in some crazy order.
Yeah, he's messed me up. That's my last keep.
So you have got remaining Spider-Man No Way Home. That's a bin. Endgame.
Bin.
That's a bin. X-Men Days of Future Past. It's a bin.
Yeah. Yeah, bin.
And Spider-Man 2.
Can I swap out?
What would you swap if you could?
If I could, Dark Knight.
Is it? For Spider-Man 2?
Spider-Man 2. Tobey Maguire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd do that. I'd do that.
That's insane.
That's your boy.
I don't know when the disrespect for Dark Knight started happening.
I'm not disrespecting
Yeah,
it.
I don't get, for me, even though I prefer the Batman,
Yeah.
that film is goaty.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's one of the best comic films of all time. I think it's one of the best films of all time.
Yeah, like films wise.
Do you know how you said earlier, like when you go to a shop and like
Yeah, I was there.
You're using your analogy on you, Joe.
Fair play, fair play.
like, great film. Spider-Man 2 just works better for me.
So
If I was rewatching, if I had two of these movies, the Batman, the Dark Knight, whatever, and Spider-Man 2, right? I'm picking Spider-Man 2.
You said something earlier in the episode about why you love Superman. So fair play. I think I'm seeing it now. Me, I like dark themes and whatnot in it. So
Right.
so that's probably why I feel like I'd always gravitate to anything that's like dark or any type of saying. But yeah.
Sad day.
Okay. I'll go one by one. Guess the film by the. Guess who said the quote.
Yeah.
So I'll start again just for you to clip it up or whatever. We're gonna play Guess Who Said the Quote. It's gonna be based on Marvel characters. We'll do one by one so you can back and forth. There's no need to pause that, is there?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
You're nervous.
Okay. Let's get these questions up for you guys.
This is for Marvel, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, here it is. I had the
Is it like a versus or is it like?
Yeah, we'll do like a win. Yeah, we'll make it into like a versus. So we'll see. Like I'll be like 1 point for you, 1 point for you, 1 point for you.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So
Okay.
start all over again. Yeah.
Cool. So we're gonna play Guess Who Said the Quote. Marvel edition of the game. You two are both like Marvel heads as well, so this should be fun. You go one by one. Maybe first to what? 5?
5.
And if they're both on 5, do like a bonus. Yeah. Cool. First quote goes to Huss.
Yes.
Everyone fails who they are supposed to be. The measure of a person, of a hero, is how well they succeed at being who they are.
Damn.
I thought we should get 3 lifelines. Okay.
Kids said no, so producer.
But, like, one of them being which phase is it?
Bear in mind, you've got 20 seconds left. You're doing 30 seconds.
You get and bonus if you can guess the film that it comes from.
Say again quick.
Everyone fails at who they are supposed to be. The measure of a person, of a hero, is how well they succeed at being who they are.
Oh, I know this.
It's not an easy start, I'll be honest with you.
I know this. Can I steal?
I want to go Captain Marvel.
Okay.
But I'm not going to do that.
Because he said no.
I'm going to go Mobius. No. Is it all films? or just
It's all
MCU?
films.
You got 10 seconds.
Loki.
Have a guess, man. It's worth it.
All right.
This
cool.
is tough. I'll be fair to you. It's not an easy.
Give me the phase.
Done phase 3.
Phase 3.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm gonna say Nick Fury.
So the answer is Frigga.
Yeah, that's phase 1.
Uh,
Oh no, it is phase 3. You're
Avengers
right.
Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame. Yes.
Endgame. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not an easy one though.
That's a tough one.
It's tough. So
That is a tough one.
I knew it though.
You did not.
I
know
did, I
that.
did.
You did. Well, guess what? The cameras didn't hear it. So here we are.
I have to try and balance it out.
I lie.
Yeah.
You can't be like fucking giving them Tony Stark now.
Okay, this is not easy. Don't waste it. Don't waste your life.
Oh, I forgot his name, but it's Iron Man, and he's selling that to Tony.
You have to. So you get a point for the film, but you don't get a point for who said it.
Oh, okay, hang on.
No, you got to say it all for the point.
Oh, so the film is like a bonus for you, yeah?
No, there's no bonus. You got to say the name of the person and the film.
Gosh.
Cool.
Oh my days. Why don't I know this guy's name? I can't even guess this one because if I say anything wrong, I'm gonna get clipped. You know what I mean? Like it'll come across.
Yeah, you want to save it?
It'll come across weird. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to.
That's funny.
I'm gonna have to pass that one.
Ho Yinsen.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna.
Yeah.
But I knew where it was. So.
All right, now let's get a bit easier.
No man can win every battle, but no man should fail without a struggle.
What?
Yo, am I an idiot? Like, no man can win every battle, but no man can.
No man should fail without a struggle. Thing is, it's a film, it will jar you because you'll be like, I should kind of know this, but it's not easy off the dome.
Black Panther.
So it's Peter Parker in Spiderman Homecoming. Yeah, it's not an easy one.
I was gonna say that actually.
Do you know what? Maybe we should introduce a rule midway because these lot are getting cooked. Give them one lifeline, and that lifeline can be what phase.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. So I have to know my phases. I'm trying now because that was hard again. I'm trying to find something that's equal.
You gotta, I
Yeah.
can't lie. He said it. I'm like, right, damn.
He is going crazy, bruv.
He may have been your father, boy, but he
Oh.
wasn't your daddy.
Yondu, Guardians 2.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so 1-0. And 3 left.
Yay.
I'd rather be a good man than a great king.
Oh, Thor. No, Odin's son. No. Wait, hold up. I'd rather be a good man than a great king. I'd rather be a good man than a great king. I'd rather be a good man than a great king.
I'm gonna help you out. You guessed the character right, but you need to tell me the film.
I'd rather be a good man than a great king. It's not Thor 1.
Which one is it?
It's either Thor 1 or Thor Ragnarok. It's not Dark World. I'm gonna go Dark World.
So, yeah, you got it right.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sick. All right, Thor,
got it right.
Dark World.
So you've both got
Got point.
One each.
One each?
Fucking hell.
2 questions each left.
This is the fight of our lives, and we're going to win whatever it takes.
Oh my god. Come on, man. Come on.
Whatever it takes. Steve Rogers in Endgame.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
For you,
I recently watched that.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
That's a layup. That was in the trailer.
Huh? Yeah.
it's an imperfect world, but it's the only one we've got.
Steve Rogers.
He was looking around like, help me, help me, help me.
I want to say Civil War, man. I feel like when he talks to Tony, when he's talking to the room, he always talks to the room. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go Rogers. It's in a perfect world. That's the only one that we got. It might even be Endgame. All right, cool. I'm gonna go Rogers. Civil War.
Tony Stark in Iron Man. Yeah.
That's ass.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Rogers has said that.
That's your goat, by the way.
Okay.
Where's Basola? Where is she?
You've done how many?
He's got 2. I've got 1.
It's the last question.
That's the last question.
So you could just you could end it, right?
All right. Cool. Relax yourself.
Make this a tough one.
They've all been tough, mate.
Yeah, Loki, you gave Eli a layup. That's in the trailer, you know.
I gave him an easy one.
Which one?
The Thor
the
one.
Thor one, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Where to go? See, that's too easy.
Fuck it, do it, man.
No.
Fuck it, do it, man. So sometimes it's so easy that he might get it
That
wrong.
you get
Yeah.
it. Wrong, yeah.
Okay. You never know. You hope for the best and you make do with what you get.
Nick Fury, Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Japan, right?
And Eli, just to wrap up,
It's in the bit when Natasha is recruiting the new Avengers.
just to wrap up quickly, we'll do this 2 minutes. Just some generic film questions about you and your interests,
Okay.
so on and so forth, right? What's a movie that made you fall in love with cinema?
Lion King.
Interesting. If you could live inside any TV show's world for a week, what would you choose and why?
Any TV show. Jeez Louise, why is this harder than I thought?
10 seconds.
Rick and Morty.
Is there a film or a show you've rewatched more than you care to admit?
Is it what, sorry?
Is there a film or a show you've rewatched more than you care to admit?
Nah, I admit.
Okay, what is a show that you just go back to often, or a film?
It's just
Age of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Who's a director whose work you'd watch no matter what the project is?
Gareth Edwards.
Interesting.
Oh. So you watch the creator and that kind of stuff. I actually bought those cameras because he told me to buy them.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Great director.
Yeah.
What's a scene from a movie or show that hits you emotionally every single time?
The scene where Andrew Garfield's Spiderman saves the kid in the car.
Is that Spider-Man 1?
Amazing Spider-Man 1, yeah.
Yeah. What's your ultimate comfort film or series? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Age of Ultron.
I think Age of Ultron's sort of gone up in people's estimations in recent years. I like that film. Is there a character from a film or a TV series you relate to more than you probably should, or that you just generally relate to?
I would say Echo from Arcane. Don't know what it is. Got nothing alike, but
Cool. What's a movie you think is criminally?
But you feel it.
yeah,
What's a movie you think is criminally underrated?
criminally underrated. Age of Ultron.
Yeah. And one film you think is totally overrated.
Totally overrated. Ooh, it's tricky. Not that it's a bad film, but Everything Ever All at Once is definitely overrated.
Okay.
But it's still a good film. But it's overrated. I don't know if it's a contradiction or whatever, but it's overrated.
I hear you.
And if you were to show somebody who's never watched film or TV before a piece of art that's film or TV, what would you show them to reflect the highest quality of work that you've seen?
Babylon.
Interesting.
But as in from that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you see Margot Robbie said that she's really shocked that it didn't get like received like globally like very well. You know what I mean? Okay,
Yeah.
and she's right.
Yeah.
I watched that, and like the first day it came out, okay, didn't even know what it was. I just kind of rolled the dice. I loved it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I came on the pod and I was like, guys, this film is
It's a good film.
so
Good.
sick.
I'm mad at
Jason
it
hated
in
it.
cinemas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watched it at home, bro. I'm pissed off.
Did
at
you?
home. Yeah, I didn't.
Couldn't do that.
That time,
Yeah.
period of time was busy, but I only saw it on literally someone recommended it to me like 3-4 months ago, and I was like, damn,
I got thrown off when Tobey Maguire appears. Other than that, I enjoyed the film a lot. It just seemed a bit random, but it was a good film. One other thing we do with all our guests is their Mount Rushmore of movies. 1 to 4. Top 4 of all time.
of all time.
Yeah.
No order. It's just like wonderful.
Cool. The Lion King, 1994.
Yeah, you loved that film, man.
Definitely is on there. I would have Into the Spider-Verse on there.
Nice.
I would have a film called The Apartment. Very recently entered my Mount Rushmore film.
What's it about?
It's just like a love story of these characters in New York, and like people use his apartment to like hide away from their wives and stuff.
I've seen this.
There's like there's more to it than that. But he's like, his characters is just written so well. It's so beautiful.
Isn't the whole point that they use it to cheat?
That is why they use it initially, but it's about him and the love interest, their story, and how he still cares for her despite her literally using his apartment with his boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's insane.
It's a very good film.
I saw it during COVID. It came out like 2018, 2017, right? Something like that.
Nah, this is like a...
Yeah, the 1960s one you're about, right? Yeah.
60s
Oh,
film.
they remade it.
Did they remake it?
Bro. Check
I
it
think
right
you know
now.
about. I saw the remake version as well, but
They've
it's French.
remade
Wait,
it.
there's a remake.
There's a remake.
I've seen the remake.
I've seen that.
The
But, you know,
90
it's
wait, are you talking
the
about,
black and white
are you
version.
talking about the 1996 version?
No.
No, he's talking about something that was made more recently.
I think it's called Veloth, but it's based on that.
Oh, okay.
Might be same premise or
Veloth
something.
or whatever. It's literally like
2014.
yeah.
All right.
And it's called
Carl Urban's in it.
Yes.
Then yeah.
No way.
Turn around, please. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna see that when I get back then.
Yeah. Watch that. It's not as good as a film, but it is. But the whole thing is I think pretty cool. But like the theory is based on they all use it to cheat and do shit. And when there's an incident that happens at Veloth, but they can't publicize the incident. Because
Oh, right.
They can't publicize their fucking lives. So they kind of do like an internal, like you know.
Oh, no, it's very different then.
investigation.
It's very different.
Yeah, but it's
It's inspired.
Yeah.
Fairs.
And what's your last?
Last one, I'm gonna say
Tough, innit?
no. About Time.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. It's a very interesting, but
Very
bunch
very
bunch of
different list
films.
from what we usually get.
yeah.
Diverse. Yeah. It's a good ending to the
It's
pod.
not, but it's very like a lot of light in it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I like feel good films.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, About Time definitely isn't a feel good film, but it
Yeah.
it ends up being one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tend to have people on here that just are miserable cunts who want like the darkest story.
Yeah.
Including myself. I'm one of those.
Same. That's what I'm waiting for. Yeah.
And I'm very much like if a film makes me feel good, laugh, cry, whatever it is, I'm down, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm on.
Like I'm down.
I do like a heartwarmer though.
Yeah, same.
The film I'd recommend to you guys is The Ballad of Wallace. That's one of my best films.
I'm seeing you talk about it quite a lot on your socials.
Bro.
Ballad of Wallace. I'll add that to my
Ballad
list.
of Wallace Island, good film. Eli, can only say thank you for joining us today.
No, thank you for
It's always
having
good
me.
to have people that are sort of in the community of the film, that we see at all the screenings and stuff. It's always good to have the people that we see often here to share their insight and their thoughts on film and TV. Really excited for some of the films coming out, naturally. Excited to see what you guys do in the future as well, Geeks of the Week. Do you want to promote some of your socials and stuff?
Yeah, my TikTok and Instagram is It's Only Eli with 2 eyes at the end, and I'm part of a, what do you call it, a quad? Yeah, there's a quad. Oh, that camera's off. There's a quad of us called the Geeks of the Week, and we do breakdowns, reviews,
Sick.
and game shows, so quizzes and fun film related games.
All platforms?
Just TikTok and Instagram.
Cool. Perfect.
Nice.
Thank you for joining us today. We are the Post Credit Scene Podcast, 14HQ original, lovers of film, TV and theatre. Huss, good episode today. Thank you for joining. As
Thanks for
always,
having us.
kids in the building, doing a production job. Thank you so much as well. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe if you have. I saw someone comment on the YouTube recently and they were like, we want you to break down, I think, Department Q, which was a Netflix series.
Literally, yeah. It's just I watched it
Yeah,
yesterday.
it's good.
Finished it today. Yeah.
With the people have it's a few weeks like gone now. It's a good series though. It's not, for me, a bit convoluted, but good.
All right.
Good series.
We're getting some new subs that are enjoying our content as well. We put in the group chat the other day, Huss.
Oh yeah. Oh,
What's
the
up?
cameras both off, you know.
Both
It's
of them.
so funny.
It's good for audio though.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you comment on our videos. Let us know what you're expecting from us and what you want, and we'll catch you guys on the other side. Peace. No, I can't say that. It's a bad time for that. Peace.
Damn.
Hi, I'm Lashana Lynch, and you are listening to the Post Credit Scene podcast.